Live. All right, what's going on? Dun, 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 dun. Okay, fine. Let's do at everyone the cold topic awards aren't happening tonight, so it's time again for the worst show I make. SACing MAL Eternal. Starting off with 1989 and enter. I'm a little rough in my voice, I think. So we're going to try and we're not going to do a very long one. Here, let me get a throat lozenge going real quick. I don't want to do a very long one because I don't want to hurt myself. But I got my stream energy up when John canceled. And I'm like, well, I don't want to waste all this stream energy. So let's kick into a SACing MAL Eternal. Let's just have some fun with it. Alright? Let's read every anime ever made. So, kicking us off, Peter Pan no Boken. Peter Pan and Wendy. Wendy and her two little brothers are brought to the land of adventures, Neverland, by Peter Pan, the boy who will never grow up. In Neverland, they encounter exciting events and meet with little fairies, mermaids, Indians, and pirates. Required to act as a mother, Wendy never has moments of peace with all that is happening around her, including breathtaking fights with pirates. Later in the series, they set off to find buried treasure with a map they obtain from the pirates. So this is just a Peter Pan adaptation, it looks like. Let's see. Chinpui. TV show based on the manga by F. Fujio Fujiko. One day, a regular Earthling girl called Eri is visited by a pair of strange but somewhat cute aliens from the planet Mal, telling her that she has been selected as the best marriage candidate for their prince. When she refuses, one of them stays to prepare her for and perhaps persuade her into marrying their beloved prince. Another Fujiko classic. Fujiko classic. I'm unfamiliar with Fujio F. Fujiko. What else has she done? Doraemon. Interesting. Obo Chama-kun. Based on award-winning manga by Kobayashi Yoshinori, serialized in Shogakukan's Koro Koro comic. Okay then. Shin-Ai Animation. Now that's actually interesting. I thought Shin-Ai Animation was a relatively new studio, but here I am finding out that they've been around since 1976, apparently. You don't. They're very low key then, because they don't really tend to make much of a splash. Oh, I guess they serialized Doraemon. Honestly, you can just serialize Doraemon and Shinchan. Okay, you know what? They probably did Doraemon and Shinchan, and they just coasted off of that for their entire existence. That's fair. To be fair, if you have Doraemon and Shinchan, well, I mean, what else do you need? They also did Salesman, apparently, which is I hear big in Japan. We're gonna read this anyway, even though it's very famous. This is Ginga Ayu Densetsu, Legend of the Galactic Heroes, sometimes called the greatest anime ever made. Haven't seen it, need to get into it at some point. The 150-year-long stalemate between two interstellar superpowers, the Galactic Empire and the Free Planets Alliance, comes to an end when a new generation of leaders arises. The idealistic military genius Reinhard von Lohengrin and the FPA's reserved historian Yang Wenli. When Reinhard climbs the ranks of the Empire with the aid of his childhood friend Siegfried Christius, probably butchered that one, he must fight not only the war, but also the remnants of the crumbling Golden Bomb dynasty in order to free his sister from the Kaiser and unify humanity under one genuine ruler. Meanwhile, on the other side of the galaxy, Yang, a strong supporter of democratic ideals, has to stand firm in his beliefs, despite the struggles of the FPA, and show his pupil, Julian Mintz, that autocracy is not the solution. As ideologies clash amidst the war's many casualties, the two strategic masterminds must ask themselves what the real reason behind their battle is. Legend of the Galactic Hero was adapted from a series of 10 novels published in 1982 through 1987 by Yoshiki Tanaka. The novels won the Seiun Award for the best long-term Japanese science fiction in 1988. At the start of its production, the name was distributed through a subscription system, in which episodes were mailed to existing fans of the novels. It was made in 4 separate tranches over nearly a decade, with the production of side stories continuing for several further years. The main series has the largest voice cast of any anime, and with well over 300 voice actors, it is the longest OVC series ever made. The novels have also been adapted into a manga, a stage musical by Takarazuka Review, and a number of games. SACing MAL Eternal Pain. Is this the Batsu Narlithotep spoke of in Persona 2? Welcome, Nate. How are you doing tonight? John canceled the podcast awards, so we're doing this instead because I had to do something with all this energy. Gunbuster. I did a review of Gunbuster. Go watch my Gunbuster review. Wait, is it out? It is. It is out. Go watch my Gunbuster review. Mobile Suit Gundam 0080 War in the Pocket. Alfred Izuruha is a 10-year-old who lives in the neutral colony cluster of Side-6 and, like most boys his age, is obsessed with a war between the Earth Federation and the Principality of Zeon. Unbeknownst to him, Al's next-door neighbor, Christina, is the test pilot of a prototype Gundam being developed in secret by the Earth Federation in the colony. A Zeon Special Forces team is assembled and tasked with infiltrating the colony in order to either steal or destroy it. When skirmish breaks out between the Federation and infiltrating Zeon forces, the fascinated Alfred stumbles upon a Zaku mobile suit that has been shot down, piloted by Zeon rookie Bernard Bernie Wiseman. After this encounter, the two start a mutual friendship, so Alfred can learn more about the war that interests him so much, and Bernie can acquire inside information about a colony to aid his team's mission. Playing Arkham Asylum, I'm sorry to hear that. Gunbuster is getting a new dub. Huh. Okay. Gunbuster itself is underrated, but my god, Diebuster is terrible. Have you seen Diebuster? God, it's so fucking bad. 7.6 out of 3 is a joke. This is absolute garbage. It, like, spit in the face of Gunbuster's legacy. Okay, what do we got here? By the way, the reason we are not doing Walking Dead is because I wasn't expecting to need my Steam accounts tonight, and so I have lent it out. I'm having a more enjoyable time with Arkham Asylum. Well, that's good to hear, I guess. Writing Bean. Bean Bandit and his partner Riley Vincent are couriers for hire, transporting clients and delivering goods in his custom sports car Roadbuster for a hefty price. But when they hire to escort a kidnapped girl named Chelsea to her home, they don't realize they're being framed for kidnapping as their former clients Summerling and Carrie plan their escape with Chelsea's father and the ransom money. This is apparently Something that, oh, it's a spinoff of Gunsmith Cats. This has already drawn my attention because I already have this marked as planned to watch. Cypher. This is a pretty famous little OVA by Magic Bus. Two brothers are in the spotlight. One movie star making a football movie, the other musician who occasionally goes to school to cover his siblings. What will destiny bring them? If I recall, Cypher is famous for having the worst dub, I think? Is that correct? I'm pretty sure it's famous for having the worst dub. Midnight Eye, Goku Midnight's Eye. I just do not know what to make of this image right here. This is like some 80s shit. Look at that. This is peak 80s. Um Let's see. Furinji Goku is a detective who has an eye of God. While he was investigating the murder case of his colleague, when he had been an officer, he was presumed to stop it by the police executives. However, he continued investigating. Okay, I thought I was crazy, but nope. As I was, I was reading it correctly. This is not very good English. However, he continued investigating and he lost his left eye. When he was about to be killed, a mysterious group helped him and transplant an artificial eye. The eye was a super technological device that connected to the whole computer network in the world and enabled him to control any computers. Cypher is in English and then subbed in Japanese. So I've seen and read Cypher. Oh, interesting. That could also be why Cypher, I believe, is famous for having the worst dub. Okay. Kamigara Orange Road OVA. This cover right here is very similar to a later Love Hina cover, which almost makes me wonder if Ken Akamatsu took inspiration from this OVA cover, or if it was just sort of like a synchronization of ideas. Anyway, the time frame is right, is what I'm saying, for that to have been possible. The Cypher anime has next to nothing to do with the manga, and is basically a series of music videos involving the characters. Cypher, the manga, is about a girl who lives with two twins, one of which is an actor called Shiva. It's like a super 80s romance manga. Alright, let's see. Kamigara Orange Road OVAs. Shira, am I dropping frames constantly or something? What is happening? Or is it Twitch fucking up? Okay, it's Twitch fucking up. I have not dropped a single frame this entire time. Shiroi Kobito Tachi. Kyosuke Kasuga and his friends are staying at his grandparents' house over winter break on a skiing trip. Everyone is excited until they hear about a curse that spells doom for couples who go down the mountains together. With a net of relationships and crushes on the line, the group's plans are suddenly upended. I don't know why I can't. I might need to be more over to the left. I can't fucking read anything. There we go. That's a bit better. Okay, Kyosuke and Madoka Ayukawa's trip to Hawaii take an abrupt turn for the worse when Hikaru Hiyama gets kidnapped. Kyosuke has to find a way to rescue her without revealing his paranormal powers to Madoka. Oh, right, I forgot about that part. Wagai wa Neko de Atari Osakana de Atari. While studying for his exams, Kyosuke wishes that he could switch places with his pet cat or fish so that he could have an easier life. But when his grandfather arrives with a magic rope that can be used to swap bodies, Kyosuke finds out he might have gotten himself in too deep. Hurricane Henshin Shoujo Akane. When Kyosuke's cousin Akane comes to visit, she stirs up antics with her abilities to cast illusions. Things get even crazier when Akane falls for Madoka and becomes Kyosuke's rival in love. Koi no stage, Heart on Fire. As Kyosuke helps to prepare for a live music festival, a popular idol crashes into him and they switch bodies. Now, there's a lot of body swapping in this show, apparently. Now Kyosuke must get his body back and prevent his secret from getting out before the show begins. Omoi Gakenai situation. Kyosuke and his foreboding dream where Akane attempts to seduce him. Disgusted after having inappropriate thoughts about his cousin, Kyosuke is shocked when she actually asks him to pose as her boyfriend in front of her friends. Roge no Dengon. Madoka's father is in Japan for a performance, and she's excited for the rare opportunity to see him. When she sees her father with a strange woman, however, her emotions are thrown into disarray. Kamigara Orange Road OVA was remastered by Discotek Media and was bundled with a Blu-ray release of Kamigara Orange Road Anohi ni Karetai on August 27th, 2019. Let's see. Stories in New York City, which is what little dialogue the OVA has in all English, subs in Japanese. The manga was shockingly enough released in English in the 90s by Central Park Media. The lesbian OVA has aged like absolute milk. Good to know. Crusher Joe. The Crushinator. I made that one up. The galaxy is a strange and dangerous place, and there are times when even the United Space Force can't help. That's where the Crushers come in. Skilled troubleshooters who deal with any problem, large or small, for a fee, large only. And there is no better Crusher than Crusher Joe. Didn't we already talk about Crusher Joe and it sounded mildly interesting? Yeah, we did, yeah. Crusher Joe, the movie. Can't stop crushing. I don't know why I'm finding it in myself to try and name Crusher Joe OVAs. We have Rhea Gall Force. The Solomid race is long dead, annihilated with their enemies in the final battle at Sigma Nars, but their descendants survive on Earth and have now inherited the sad destiny predicted so many years before. Excuse me. The year is 2085. The Third World War between Earth and the West has reduced the cities of the Earth to mountains of rubble. The mechanical killing machines created by both sides now ruthlessly hunt down the remnants of humanity. Old hatreds between human factions prevent an effective resistance, and the only hope for survival rests in a desperate plan: evacuate the survivors to a Mars base. There they can rebuild and plan the liberation of the homeworld. Among them, one young woman carries the guilt of her father's hand and the destruction of civilization. Unknown to her, she also carries the key to a possible salvation. As destiny draws new friends and allies to her, a new Gall Force is born to rise up against the coming destruction. Crusher Joe sounds like a porn star name. Wes Craven's porn director name, Abe Snake. Did Wes Craven actually direct porn? Is that a thing I'm learning? Here's the thing. This is a movie. This is a 57-minute movie, or OVA, right? If this was a series, I probably wouldn't be bothered. But, that's a decent movie plot. Am I wrong? That's a decent movie plot. I'd watch that as a movie, right? Looks like there's a sequel. Probably not out yet. 89. We'll come to that later. And then a prequel, but it's called Gall Force 3, so I don't think we missed it. I'm fucking wrong. We did miss it. It came out in 1988? And there was also Gall Force 2. I had to have read this. Oh, this is Gall Force 1. Oh, Gall Force 1 came out in 1986, but I already have it on the plane. Done. Syncing up with Past Me. I was like, that's a pretty decent movie plot. Oh, it's part of a series I was already interested in. Okay. Perfect. He made porn, and then he made Last House on the Left, and then he made more porn to fund his horror movie. Look, you gotta do what you gotta do. Akase Yakyoku. Kase Yakyoku. Night Song of Splendor. I like the poster. The story takes place in Old Tokyo, the Tokyo of August-September 1923, Showa 12. At this moment in time, the city is a mixture of extremes, past and present, rich and poor, good and bad. This is a city where we see both horse cars and motor cars, swords and pistols, lords and businessmen. A wealthy woman from an upper-class family finds herself attracted attracted to a handsome young man, Taka. He and his younger brother seem to be allied, perhaps not entirely willingly, with some of the city's criminal underground, the Yakuza. The lady's lovely young maidservant, Sarah, meets him too, and the conflict ensues, which can only lead to tragedy, passion, and dishonor. But as events move on and the days pass, the viewer sees a terrible date coming closer, that unforgettable day of September 1st, 1923, 11:58, when the great Kanto earthquake and tidal wave struck Tokyo, causing the death of 100,000 people, one of the greatest disasters in human history. You had me until Great Kanto earthquake. Like, as I was going through it, I'm like, this could be pretty interesting, and then it's like, and then everything gets fucked up by an earthquake. And I'm like, oh, no, thank you? No, I'm gonna hop off on Earthquake. It's kind of like Titanic, basically. It's like a similar Titanic-like plot. It's like a love. Wait, 1989. When the fuck did Titanic? Is this just like a ripoff of Titanic? When was Titanic? Titanic was 1997. No, Titanic is a ripoff of Kase Yakyoku. Fair enough, I guess. Let's see. Kyomu Senshi Miroku, a psychic ninja fantasy suggesting the assassin did not die out during the Sengoku era, but burrowed under Japan, where they fought a new war against alien occupants of a crash spaceship that has lain undisturbed for several millennia. I would be shocked to hear if Maid has not seen this fucking piece of shit. Really? This seems exactly like something. This seems like something you would watch, Maid. I'm gonna be. This seems like the classic like late 80s 90s like 6 episode OVA bullshit. Uh like a sort of like Gyno Cyber kind of stuff. Okay, moving on. Chonin Senshi Borgman Midnight Gigs. Speaking of 1920s Japan, what why go on, no need to be shy. I know you could just sit in my lap. If only you could fly right out, we'd reach that much sooner. Who turns that down, though? For real? What is it? It's Kyomu Senshi Miroku. All right, let's check out Chonin Senshi Borgman Midnight Gigs. Sonic Soldier Borgman Midnight. I'm wrong and stupid. That doesn't say Midnight Gigs. It says Mad Night Gigs. A music clip OVA using full versions of songs that were from the anime. While most of the OVA is repurposed footage from the original show, this release does contain footage that never aired previously, showing some extra events that occurred after the final episode. What's up, Bone? How are you doing? What's going on tonight? John canceled the Poll Topic Awards, so we're doing this instead. What the hell is Chonin Senshi Borgman? 1988, I already read it. Moving on from Chonin Senshi Borgman. I am Borgman. You will be assimilated. Resistance is futile. Yankee Reputai. Doing good, about to pull some tenderloin out of the... Ooh, nice. Impossibly tough and hairsprayed biker boys and girls fight turf wars in the streets with much revving of motors and "you killed my buddy, prepare to die" dialogue, based on the Shonen magazine manga by Masahide Hashimoto, whose hero was so tough that he transferred schools 20 times. Only Japanese tough guy would continue to go at all. I feel like I've heard of Masahide Hashimoto. Am I wrong? I feel like I've heard the name Masahide Hashimoto. It might just be a name that like sounds familiar, but I think I've heard of this guy, right? Masahide Hashimoto, what you do? What do I know you from? No, not Masashi Kishimoto. I said Masahide Hashimoto. Okay, I have no idea. Okay, Mel does not know who this man is, so never mind, I guess. Maybe I don't. Maybe I've never heard. Maybe it's just one of those names, you know? This is Bakuso Circuit Roman Twin. That's what this is. Let's see. This is Hiroshima no Enokoi. This is an educational film about the aftermath of the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. Still doing that, I guess, huh? The story follows Inoki wounded by it in 1 kilometer north of Hiroshima. Okay, we're still in 1980s, huh? Still doing this, huh? Okay. Let's go on to the movies. Saint Seiya, never got into that. Lucifer has been awoken. Oh, I'm sorry. Saint Seiya, Saishu Saisin no Senshitachi. Saint Seiya, Warriors of the Final Holy Battle. Excuse me. Lucifer, I was not aware was in Saint Seiya. I thought it was all Greek mythology stuff. Can I tell you the thing that always turned me off from Saint Seiya? This is going to sound really stupid and shallow. The thing that always turned me off of Saint Seiya, the character designs. I think they look ridiculous. I've always hated the character designs for Saint Seiya, and that's like the number one reason I've never even tried. Like, oh, I hate them so much. Oh, they look so fucking terrible. It's it's like there's probably good reason for this because Saint Seiya is super influential, but like Saint Seiya character designs look like a parody of an anime character designs. Like they look like the kind of character designs that fucking people in the 90s made fun of. And again, it's probably because of how influential Saint Seiya is, but that that doesn't mean I have to like them. Nowadays, they just show barefoot Gen in school and call it a day. Artemis design in SMP5 is Saint Seiya inspired. I actually hold on because I've seen the SMT5 Artemis, and from what I remember, it is Saint Seiya inspired. But I remember actually liking it. Why the fuck am I not? I looked up SMT5 Artemis. Why am I not getting an image of her? I'm like upset about this. What the fuck? I looked up. Okay, so I went to the Megami. I cannot show this on screen. I looked up the Megami Tensei wiki image of Artemis, and the first image is from something called KMT, and it is just like a straight up image of. There's just it's so many tits. I am looking at a comical amount of tits right now. Just an absolutely absurd amount of tits. Okay, there we go. Yeah, no, I'm more used to like the Imagine style where there's tits everywhere, but it's not. It's a lot of tits. It's so many tits. While I'm looking through this, the P2 one looks fucking stupid. Devil Children looks fine. SMT5, yeah. So her Kyoyaku Megami Tensei. It's an SNES remake of Megami Tensei 1 and 2. A literally comical. Who the fuck is Maya? Whose persona is this? Maya? Is that? Yeah, that's Maya's persona. I don't remember her looking like this. What the fuck is this? Is this her ultimate? What is. What? I guess I'm more used to it looking like that than that. That's really cool design. That's actually one of the cooler persona designs then. It's like this like high fashion mixture of like classical Japanese and sort of like Higher fashion. That's Maya starter persona. That's actually really cool. That's actually one of the better persona designs. Then I'm mostly used to it looking like that, so that's probably why I didn't ever look at it that hardly. Anyway, no, I like her. It's very clearly Saint Seiya designed, but if you compare this design here, I mean, yeah, you got the dumb headband, but like you have like a like chest armor and the little wrist mounted crossbow, which is anachronistic, and the little it's very it almost looks Wonder Woman esque though in a lot of ways. Like I understand the Saint Seiya inspiration, but like if you take a random ass Saint Seiya character, just a random ass Saint Seiya character. Here, let's find a Saint Seiya character. And like you blow that up, you look at the like little bodysuits and the weird metal bits just coming off of the center of it. Whereas this design is a lot simpler, a lot sleeker. Like I get the inspiration, but it's also way better done compared to Saint Seiya. Anyway, yes, that's why I've never been particularly interested in Saint Seiya. I know it's shallow, but it looks fucking stupid. All right, it does. Here, this is Seiya Pegasus. Look at the dumb fucking headband. All right. I am not a fan. All right, that's it. I. There's plenty of good anime that you don't watch because you're like, God, that looks like complete fucking garbage. One of her special attacks is literally ripped from Saint Seiya. I mean, yeah, but look at that though. She looks cool. I mean, again, I'm not a big headband fan person, but like the rest of the design is a lot sleeker and a lot simpler. You know what I'm saying? The headband's stupid, but what are you gonna do, all right? Here's a fun fact: if you defeat Artemis in SMT5 with Zeus in your roster, you get slightly different ending to her side quest. Oh, interesting. Is she not DLC? I thought she was DLC. Oh, anyway, yeah, Lucifer's been awoken from his eternal slumber by the spirits of Eris and Abel and Poseidon. He's come to kill Athena and fulfill his heart's burning desire, becoming the strongest of all gods. What a amazing plot line that sounds. She is DLC. Okay. Venus Senki, Venus Wars. Let's see. In the 21st century, mankind lives on two worlds. Following the collision of an ice asteroid, massive terraforming has made Venus a planet now capable of supporting life. Venus could possibly support life if we lived in balloons. Colonists from Earth tamed the hostile world and have thrived for 4 generations, but they also brought the darker side of humanity. Venus is about to get hostile again. Hiro Seno, a hotshot motorcycle jockey, witnessed the first strike against his cousin Aphrodite by the rival nation of Ishtar. Huge battle tanks and warplanes quickly lay waste to the city. Aphroditean army is quick to mobilize and retaliate. And despite his opposition to warfare, Hero finds himself fighting for his life on the front lines. That sounds terrible. Not gonna lie, that sounds like crap. The DLC demons are Artemis, Cleopatra, and Mephistopheles. Has Mephistopheles also been changed to a hot lady? 5-star stories. The 5-star stories. I do like this poster. Oh, what the fuck is happening here? I was gonna say, I do like this poster. It's very, Valkyria Chronicles. Amaterasu is the god of light, the future emperor of the Joker star system. Under the guise of a young mecha conceptor, Ladio Sop, he is compelled by an old friend, Dr. Balanache, to save his 2 latest Fatimas, Lachesis and Clotho. No, it's Greek. La Kessis. To save his 2 latest Fatimas, Lachesis and Clotho, and so began the stories of the Joker system, as well as Amaterasu's love for Lachesis. That sounds so fucking bad, dude. Mephistopheles is really going to be the P5 protagonist before they decided the thief thing. You know what? I think it worked out better. This is probably one of the most historically accurate costumes they've ever made for a demon. Right? When was Faust written? Faust was written in 1480 through 1540. Are we still streaming? I think we skipped some frames there. Yeah, we're still live, I think. Yeah, so, okay, yeah, so Faust was written in 1480 through 1540. And if you look at here, look over here to the wiki. Mephistopheles in 1527 practiced magia Faustina attributed to Faust. You notice the red cape. We also notice that if we go back here, whoops. Oh, here we go. If we go back here to Faust, you also see Dr. Faust written in red. So red is also associated with Faust itself. And then if we look at Pan Twardowski and the Devil by Michael Enaro Androli, we see a sort of, this is the Polish folklore legend bears. Okay, yeah, so that has nothing to do with anything, but that's fine. But if you do look at Mephistopheles and Margarita, which is a wooden double sculpture here, you see this sort of like devilistic, like goatee kind of thing that they kind of do with like ancient devil figures here. The red design, but like the jester design instead. So it's like a fool thing, but the cloak actually more closely models the like old cloak used by the old manuscript. I'm gonna be honest, this might be the most accurate devil they've ever made. Like straight up. The only thing I'm wondering is the jester design accurate to late 1400s Germany? Um, Germany has a folk hero, Tell Eulenspiegel. Mocking politicians and public figures in power authority with political satire, like the modern day court jester. He holds a mirror to us all to make us aware of the zeitgeist, and his scepter, his bauble, or marionette is a symbol of his power. He uses a rapier, which I think 14. I think the rapier is a bit anachronistic, actually. But yeah, so it looks like the sort of like Tell Eulenspiegel didn't really utilize the sort of like jester design. So there's some anachronisms in here, but I like what they were going for. It's definitely one of the more accurate designs. It's a lot better than Zeus. Any of the Zeuses. It's better than all of the Zeuses. So let's see. Anime, and I mean, honestly, technically, it's also better than all of the Artemis, if we're being honest with ourselves. Okay, anime Sanjushi, Aramis no Boken, The Three Musketeers, Aramis and the Adventure. Aramis the Adventure. We're still doing Three Musketeers, huh? So Doe design. See? This is why Doe's the best. Aramis fell off her horse and her received the aid of a man named Francois. They fell in love with each other at first sight and spent their time happily for a while. Well, Francois was killed by Manson and the Iron Mask's people, so Aramis swore revenge. Then she went to Paris to be a musketeer. 1 year after the end of the TV series, D'Artagnan had a drink with the Three Musketeers and found out that Jussac and Cardinal guards harassed a woman in a tavern in Paris. Of course, they fought Jussac and Cardinal's guards and won. On his way home, D'Artagnan witnessed the woman whom he rescued from Jussac about to jump into the river and rescued her again. D'Artagnan brought her home, but she disappeared soon. After a day, is this just the plot of the movie? After D'Artagnan heard the woman was killed last night and Rochefort and Cardinal's guards arrested him for murder because his hat was found by the woman's body. Aramis discovers that the story has a link with Catherine de Medici. I no clue, sorry on that. And launches out an investigation. This one will bring back her to the castle of her beloved, where she will have to face Pizarro to protect a dangerous document. It was drawn by Doe, who, according to Megaten fans, forgoes myth for approachable anime aesthetic. Because, Kaneko never made things gothic because he likes gothic art. I don't know. That's like one of the most accurate fucking... I'm offhandedly, I'm not sure I could name a more accurate demon than that. Let's see. Utsu no Miko. In the chaos of Janshin no Ran Civil War 1762, a child with a small horn in his forehead was born. The child's mother... Zombie. The child's mother condemned him as an oni and cast him away. An elderly Shugenja woman claimed the child and named him Utsu no Miko, or Divine Child of the Heavens, telling Miko that his horn symbolizes the union between heaven and earth. Miko matured in the wilderness, learning the ways of Shungendo, and soon started venturing into the village out of curiosity. He found that the common people of the villages live in poverty and suffering, and began using his spiritual powers to help them. But his anger at the self-serving rulers and their petty power struggles grew until he came into open conflict with the imperial court, setting Miko down a long path as a champion of the oppressed. Can I just say how goddamn pretentious you have to be to name your kid Miko? Like, straight up. My kid is fucking great, alright? That'd be like naming your kid Charles the Great. Kaneko made the Hindu goddess a white woman with blonde hair and blue eyes. The most accurate. This is apparently the second of the Utsuno Miko. Nope. Nope. It's just the first one, and then the second one comes out. Yeah, no, thank you. What is this? 762. Let's see. Osumatsu-kun. I'm actually shocked every time I see this to hear that Osumatsu, because it, got so popular again recently, to find out that Osumatsu is this old. No synopsis. Oh, sorry. Osumatsu-kun. Suika no hoshi kara konnichiwa zansu. Excuse me. Something, hello, stars. Let's see. Himitsu no Ako-chan, the movie. Why do I know this? I know we talked about Himitsu no Ako-chan before. Taisho's father plans to construct an apartment building on a vacant land he owns behind his own house. The spot is a playing field for the kids in the neighborhood who will fight to keep it as it is. We have encountered Himitsu no Ako-chan before. I am confident of that. I just don't remember. Apparently it wasn't enough to remember. Cynical History Hour. Henshin. That's what you get for free, I guess. Okay, moving. And specials. I've already seen this. I didn't review it. Do I have to read? I'm not going to read this. These are like... actually, you know what? I'm going to explain this, but I won't read it. Top wo Nare Kagaku Kozai. I didn't bother to review this, but I did watch it. These are little bonus features where they explain the science behind Gunbuster. Because Gunbuster is... I wouldn't say it's like a full-on hard sci-fi, but it has harder sci-fi elements than a lot of sci-fi series. Like, it gets really into time dilation, and the Gunbuster science lessons explain kind of how the science of Gunbuster works and, what is happening and why time dilation is such a big part of it. They also made one for the sequel Diebuster, which attempts to explain the nonsensical science of Diebuster. Diebuster came out in a sort of, when Gainax went off the fucking deep end, which I'm usually okay with, but it just does not work for the process of Diebuster. And so they made little science things for Diebuster. They made a science thing, and it is fucking stupid, because they're trying to explain a show science that just ignored science. So it worked well for Gunbuster, but Diebuster was a terrible. I think they only did it because they did it for Gunbuster. It came out fucking terrible. Anyway, Master Ajiko special. This is a special for Mr. Ajiko, which I probably read in 1987. Moving on to spring of 1989. Now we've got the spring season. The first anime launching in spring of 1989 is Dragon Ball Z. I am not going to read you what Dragon Ball Z is about. Okay. Renma one half. Renma Satomi is a top class martial artist and prodigy at Satomi Anything Goes School of Martial Arts. While training in China, he and his father met a terrible fate when they accidentally fell into a cursed spring. Now Renma is cursed to turn into a girl when splashed with cold water, with only hot water can turn him back into a boy. Things are only complicated further when Renma discovers that his father has arranged for him to marry one of Suan Tendo's 3 daughters. In order to secure the future of Tendo Dojo, though Suan learns of Renma's predicament, he is still determined to go ahead with the engagement and chooses his youngest daughter, Akane, who happens to be a skilled martial artist herself and notorious for hating men. Renma one half follows the hilarious adventure of Renma and Akane as they encounter various opponents, meet new love interests, and find different ways to make each other angry, all while their engagement hangs over their head. I have never been into gender benders, which is why I never tried to watch Renma, but you know what? It's a classic. Slotted on the list. Alright, moving on. Tenku Senki Shirato. Wow. A 16-year-old boy named Shirato and his friend Guy happen to be drawn into a gigantic ball of light while competing in the final match of a martial arts tournament. When they regain their senses, they find themselves transferred in the mystic heavenly sphere with a divine atmosphere. It's soon discovered that Shirato used to be the government king of this world and that he has only been brought to his original state. Shirato is shocked as Guy suddenly turns hostile. After this unfortunate incident, a spectacular yet fantastical drama develops involving the two. Sure, dude. Ew, look at that dumb crown thing. Oh, this is like a Saint Seiya thing. Get that shit out of here. Okay. Renma's father arranged him to marry a girl because he wanted some food. Renma's father arranged Renma to marry multiple girls because he wanted the stuff the insert girl's father. Idol Densetsu Eriko, legendary idol Eriko. Eriko is Tamura is Kosuke Tamura, the chairman of the Tamura Productions renowned music company, and Minako Tamura's former famous idol singer's only daughter. Having talent for singing since birth, she's always loved her parents' media world. Then one day tragedy strikes when her parents get into a horrible car accident, which kills her father and leaves her mother in a coma. She's left in her father's best friend, Mr. Ichida's care. Now Erika must take the path of singing, a path her parents did not want her to pursue. Then her uncle is out to destroy her career, but in spite of all the hardships, she becomes an idol and wins the hearts all over Japan. What a fucking roller coaster. Hell yeah. I feel like I would just went on that journey and then I arrived on the other side of the journey because ANN made the brilliant decision to tell me how this fucking show ends. I've seen most more stuff of this season than most of the past seasons. To be, you mean the spring? We're only on like 4. We're only on this 4. Do you mean this year or this season? Admittedly, it isn't a ton, but what I have and haven't seen will be a mystery. Or did you just like scroll through it? This sounds watchable. Honestly, this sounds like a watchable show. I got a good feeling about this. I kind of want to check this out someday. If I can even get my hands on it, is the problem. Okay. This is Tatake Chao Chou Robot Seimatai Transformers Victory, or oh, you scroll through it, gotcha. Transformers Victory, set in 2025, age um set in the far future of 2025 AD, Transformers Victory introduces Star Saber, the mightiest Autobot warrior and the greatest swordsman in the galaxy. Following the defeat of the Decepticons on Earth in the Masterverse War, the villains have begun aggressively attacking other planets in the universe. To counter this threat, the Autobots joined with many other civilizations and life forms, including humanity, to form the Galactic Peace Alliance with Star Saber as its leader, seeking the energy necessary to free his massive planet-destroying fortress from imprisonment in the Dark Nebula where Star Saber sealed it years ago. The Decepticons' new Emperor of Destruction, Deathsaurus, that's why we make this show. This is why we make this show. Oh shit. Seeking the energy necessary to free his massive planet destroying fortress from imprisonment in the Dark Nebula, where Star Saber sealed it years ago, the Decepticons' new Emperor of Destruction, Deathsaurus, attacks Earth with his Dino Force, prompting Star Saber and his team to set up residence on the planet. Behold, I am the mighty Deathsaurus. Look at this stupid fucking robot design. He's got a fucking flail hanging off of him. If this dumb look, flails existed, but they did not look like that. And the reason is, you imagine if this dumb fuck tried to fly through the air with his stupid fucking wings, he'd like crush himself with. If that weapon is capable of harming another robot, it can fucking harm him. He'd just go and he'd hit himself in his fucking robo nuts with a flail. What the fuck, dude? Motto King Grandsword. In the future, the moon is a habitable place with atmosphere and gravity and also has famous tourist attraction. There is also stories about long ears creature like rabbit on the moon who can use magic. Haruka Daichi heads off to the moon during a summer holiday alone because he likes to see the long ears creature by himself. However, he gets himself dragged into an ancient conflict between two ancient moon races, the Long Ears race and the Jado race. The Jado race wanted to conquer the universe and resurrect evil ancient powers to seize control of Earth. Now, the Long Ears race and Daichi must seek three warriors who could use magic to release Mado King to fight Jado race and release Long Ears race. Raibaluna from Jado race. And you see here that we have another fucking Super Robo anime. It is 1989. Okay, look, let's be honest here, alright? People fucking talk about the isekai boom and the moe boom. They were nothing. They were nothing compared to this. I lived during the fucking isekai and moe boom. This Super Robo shit is insane to me. This is the most this is ridiculous. How are we still getting this in 89? You could argue that this might be going more real Robo, but considering it has like magic and shit, I don't think so. It is Sunrise, so it could be real Robo. For the record, maybe this is real Robo. But this looks fucking Super Robo. Like, look at that. That looks like he's got a dumb shit sword. He's got like a Voltron-esque design. Fucking, I guess, shout out. Who was that kickstarted this? Who was the dude that created the fucking dumb rock man in the 60s? Jushin Liger Bio Armor Riger. I've heard of this one, actually. This one is relatively famous. 323 users. Never mind. This one isn't famous at all. I have definitely heard of this one, though. It is the far future of 1990X AD. And Kushiro. I love how they said 1990X. This was made in 89. So they were banking on this occurring in 10 years. In Kushiro, Hokkaido, 3 bodies of Dragonite appear, possessing overwhelming destructing force. They attack the city. They also awaken the evil Jashin Drago from the holy seal he was trapped in. 200 years ago, Drago was trapped in the seal by holy warriors with a tattooed mark of the Liger, assuming that the warrior is dead. Excuse me, 200 years ago, I don't think Ligers existed. Assuming the warrior is dead, Drago and the Empress Zara are free to conquer the Earth using their army of biomechanical beasts. Even the Japan Self-Defense Force are no match for the Dragonite's awesome power. Even the Japanese Self-Defense Force? Oh, man. One of the people fleeing is the protagonist, a milquetoast 16-year-old boy named Ken Taiga. Subtle name. Unbeknownst to the Dragonites, Ken realizes that he is the descendant of the Liger warrior. In a burst of anger, Ken's Liger birthmark appears, and he raises his palm into the air, shouting the Henshin command, Liger! Which then covers him in demonic, long-haired, biomechanical armor. Ken transforms into Jushin Liger to fight the evil forces of the Dragonite. That sounds like garbage. That's a thing I like. Ligers are real, but theoretically they wouldn't occur in nature. They could, like, I don't think there are any natural Ligers in existence. Here's Wikipedia. We got some Ligers. They do exist. I just don't know if they can exist in nature. In 1798, a dude painted it, I think. I don't think he bred them. Liger cubs were born in 1824. So, according to this, if two Liger cubs born in 1937, so it seems like Ligers are born in captivity because Ligers are, like, I don't think Ligers are found in nature because I don't think tigers and lions live in the same area is the problem. Ligers have occurred and do occur by accident in captivity. Yeah, they occur in captivity. So, in order for this fucking Liger guy to have a Liger birthmark from 200 years ago, this is 1990. 200 years ago is 1700s. There were no Ligers in the 1700s. Okay, moving on. Aoi Blink. Story of a young boy named Kakeru and his adventures together with a magical blue pony named Blink. It looks like it's for kids. It doesn't look targeted at me. Miracle Giants, Donmakun. Oh, God. Okay, here we go. Dome Shinjo, a 10-year-old boy who is the son of a deceased legendary player of the Yomari Giants. From his father, he inherited the love for baseball and his great abilities for such sport. Although his mother and his older sister try to avoid that he practices it. In fact, his father, before dying, had time to teach him a magical shoot. Dome, after his mother gave him the glove his father used, he makes that shot in a training session of the Giants and is contracted immediately. With the support of the veteran players of the team, this young player will, from this very moment make the Giants become unbeatable at home, and none of the main batters of the Japanese professional league managed to end with his magical shot. Although that does not apply to the games played away, as Dome is just allowed to play at home, in the Tokyo Dome, in which his father was consecrated, and the place by which he did choose such name for his son. Oh, his name is Dome. Then I've been saying Dome, but no, it's fucking Dome. Okay, when veteran captain of the Dragons manages to beat a shot, it seems that the young boy is finally and definitely defeated. But when he invents another magical shot, new rivals, but also friends, such as Melody Norman, an American girl who disguises herself as a boy because women can't play baseball, will appear in scene upon the arrival of the mysterious Don Carlos, a Spanish bullfighter who plays for the Hiroshima Tokyo Cup and seems to have something pending with his father. Will Dome succeed in giving the league to the Giants? This sounds watchable if I cared at all about watching it. Like, if you were into baseball, this sounds like this could be an interesting time for you, honestly. Why are there so many of these written like the bootleg narrative? Because no one gives a shit, honestly. A lot of them are taken from, like... a lot of these, I think, are either from, like, Wikipedia or something. Like, they're just, like, little blurbs that no one gave a shit about. To, like, bother to spell check. Well, okay, the spelling's fine. No one bothered to grammar check them. Akuma-kun, the age of the demons has begun. Dr. Faust has foreseen this rise of evil. Unfortunately, he is near death and unable to personally battle this upcoming threat. Faust entrusts a young boy, Shingo Yamada, to take responsibility of ridding the earth of this new, evil presence. Faust finds a birthmark on Shingo's forehead that signifies that he is the chosen demon fighter. Faust summons from hell what may be humanity's only hope of surviving. A less than enthusiastic devil named Mephisto rises. After signing a pact in blood to save humankind, Shingo and Mephisto set out to battle the supernatural world. And now we're going to click on the image to show you the art style of what I just read. This is the art style of the anime with that plot. Oh, what a delight. What a delight. Oh, okay. This is why we do it, folks. This is why we make this crap. Let's see. Well, they're not as bad as that bootleg Naruto DVD. Sorry, not Naruto. I mean Ming Ren. This is Shin Bikuramon. This is the new Bikuramon. We've probably already read Bikuramon. We did read Bikuramon. 1987. Cool. Moving on. O&As. Let's see. Reddit. Yoma. Yoma. Blood Rain. Curse of the Yoma. A terrible war. If you have not, you've seen this, right? Yeah, you've seen this. Yeah, I could look at the cover and tell. A terrible war has ravaged the land, and now fueled by blood of numerous fallen warriors of Yoma, demons from hell, emerge once more. A skilled ninja seeks to end the bloodshed of these demons inflict upon humanity. But to do this, he must fight against his undead former best friend and fellow ninja who was killed in battle and was resurrected to serve the Yoma. Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that crap. Yeah, I knew just for the cover. I could tell. Mobile Suit SD Gundam Mark II. Mobile Suit SD Gundam Mark II delivers more tongue-in-cheek humor than the first series. In the Rolling Colony affair, Colony is hoisting a cabaret show featuring the girls of Gundam. But the show turns disastrous when men in mobile suits go crazy over the girls, and in the colony rolling out of control. A parody of the video game RPG genre, Gundam Legend has Amuro, Camille, and Judo sent on a perilous quest to rescue the princess of Zeta Kingdom from Shar Aznarbol and his vicious Xenon MS forces. I would love the idea of. I would love the idea of a fucking colony drop being triggered because people got drunk. Ricky O. Tokatsu Jigoku. Wow. It looked exactly like something you would watch. Honestly, it looks exactly like something you would watch. If someone were to be like show me that cover and be like has Made seen it, I would be like, yup. It's got everything. It's got like the overly dramatic like red edgy sun. We got like the like 80s art style. We got the slightly edgy plot. Okay. Rikio Tokatsu Jikoku, The Wall of Hell. Pow. A retelling of the prison arc of the manga Rikio. The story follows this Saiga Rikio, a young man blessed with inhuman strength. After taking revenge against a Yakuza boss who was responsible for the death of his girlfriend, he ends up in a maximum security prison owned by a private organization. Isn't Rikio just like a ripoff of Fist of the North Star? The prison is divided into 4 blocks, each run by a member of the prisoners, known as the Gang of Four. The first member is a tattooed knife wielder, known as Hai, that runs his block in a mafia-style family system. The second member is a giant man, known as Tarzan in the live action, with an incredible strength. The third member is an effeminate fighter named Huang Xuan that is growing opium in the prison. The final, okay, seems a little racist. The final member is a small man that uses sewing needles as his weapons. I think I actually have to watch this just because I have to do a fight club about Rikio versus Baki. Not that it doesn't sound like an interesting plot, but I think I actually have to watch this anyway, so marking it down. Crusher Joe, Cleopatra DC, I did a review of. Go look that up. Yoroiden, Samurai Troopers Gaiden. Although Tolpa has been defeated, the warriors don't get much of a break. As they celebrate Ryo's birthday party, the news tells them of a strange killer in samurai armor wreaking havoc in New York. The armor looks very familiar. Now they all have to battle the ancient sorcerer Shikai-Sin for Sage's life. We've probably talked about Samurai Troopers before. Yep, 1988. Moving on. Excuse me. We have... I know you recommended the live-action movie more, but the anime just seems more watchable to me. Fuma no Kojiro Yashahen. Hakuro Academy was once a respected school where many students dreamed of being admitted. Now its rival school, Seishikan, is on a mission to assimilate all other schools, and Hakao Academy is its next target. Supported by the fearsome Yasha clan, Seishikan students are frequently visit Hako's campus to assault and forcibly convince their best students and athletes to transfer Seishikan. Despite desperate to preserve their legacy, Hako Academy enlists the help of Kojiro Fuma, the only members of the once legendary Fuma clan, still living in their ancestral village. Kojiro will stop at nothing to defend Hakao against the Yasha clan, whom the family has feuded with for generations, but will that be enough to stop Seishikan's aggression? I got bored of this anime while reading the description of this anime. The OVA doesn't even have all of the Gang of Four, it just has 2 of them. Really? It says it had all of them. It mentioned all 4 of them. It mentions all 4 of them. Does it really not? That's dumb then. Oh, this is Explorer Woman Ray. What is this? Oh, yeah. It was so bored I forgot to close the tab. It's like skimming the first arc of the manga. She's an archaeologist and a black belt, and Rei Kazuki will need her brains and her brawn as she plunges into the thrill-filled adventure. Rei's examining an exciting new archaeological discovery. a legendary temple located in an isolated area of the world. As always, she has with her a strange mirror that once belonged to her father, a mirror that may provide access to a vanished civilization. On the excavation, May meets Mai and Mami Tachibana, free-willing, pubescent girls who heedlessly court danger, and danger they find in the form of the Rig Veda. Veda is after a big prize, Ray's mirror, but will she stop him at all costs? But she'll have to stop him at all costs, because if Veda gets his hands on the powerful object, he will possess secrets that could lead to disaster. That sounds watchable. I'd watch that. I'd watch that. Tell me you wouldn't watch that. I'd watch the shit out of that. It's got a like sort of Tomb Raider thing. I kind of like the character designs. Is this just like super generic character designs, or is this character designer by someone who I've actually heard of? I've seen the OVA and it only has Oscar and Rogan. I don't remember their Japanese names because I don't care. Fair enough on that one. Let's see. Art director was Junichi Higashi. Oh, Takeshi Okazaki was the original creator who did nothing I've heard of. No, no idea. Maybe they're just kind of generic designs. Oh, okay. No, 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 no. This looks like a re-release. Yeah, this is too clean. I bet this got re-released in the 90s and someone else did the cover art for it. This is probably the 80s cover art, and then that, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. I bet they had someone redo the cover in like the 90s. The OVA also has cheesy Japanese 80s metal, so that's great. I don't know what that I was like I was gonna say something. I'm like I don't know what that is. I could not put my finger on what cheesy Japanese metal is. It's like no mercy. Hoshi Neko Full House, Starcat Full House. This is a slapstick comedy about three pretty girls struggling to earn a living as pilots of the Iron Goblin delivery vessel. The computer answers back. The space pirates are on their tail, and romantic entanglements with their clients cause friction in the trio. The final episode throws the alien Eterna race into the mix. Isn't this... Did... Was... Okay, hold on. Did Kenny Lauderdale make a video about Starcat Full House? No. No, I guess he didn't. What am I thinking of? What am I thinking of? What did he make? He made a video on... There we go, it's this. What is this?
On a cloud out in outer space. But did you know God also had two daughters, and they both had a crazy space adventure with robots and lightsabers? Well, it's true, and it's the most sickeningly cute thing I have ever seen. Twinkle Heart was made by
Twinkle Heart. I was thinking of Twinkle Heart. Okay. Anyway, yeah. I'd watch this. I'd watch the shit out of this. Does anyone else I've seen know have seen this? Nope. Of course not. Only, only I would hear cute girls in a delivery truck being chased by pirates in space. Hell yeah. Toki Iro Kamiya. This is an adaptation of the same name horror manga by Suzumiya serialized in Shogakukan's thank you, me? Shogakukan's weekly Shonen Sunday special issue. It looks like the horror villain is dinosaurs. Another reason to watch the movie over Rikio is the anticlimactic ending. The OVA completely cut out the final battle. Well, that sounds disappointing. Burning Village. Anime folktale set in the titular community in which the village is on fire. The titular community in which the local eccentric Oha Hai retells several popular fairy tales with considerable license. Can I just say right now, you should not name your village Burning Village. What is Blasrator Navi? It's a spinoff of Blasrator. Hang on, we're going to look up a 2018 anime because I liked the character design. Modern Germany is plagued by an outbreak of amalgams existing solely to wreak havoc. These cybernetic entities spawn from rotting flesh and confused with technology to gain new abilities. With society left in the wake of their destruction, the Xenogenesis Assault Team, XAT, if you will, is formed to suppress the threat. Alongside its primary mission to protect against the amalgam attacks, the organization is also researching newly discovered amalgamated humans, which possess rational thought and are far deadlier than their non-sentient counterparts. Joseph Jobson is one such amalgamated human who has full control over his powers. Although successful in his line of work as a lone warrior, an unfortunate encounter with a recently turned amalgam, Gerd Frentzen, makes him a priority target of Zat as he eludes the organization and seeks new allies. Joseph is transformed into the Blasrator, being heralded as the strongest amalgam in existence. Now he must fight back with his newfound powers to uncover the truth behind not only his past, but the entire amalgam conflict. I've heard of Blasrator, I've just never read the plot of it. Nobody I know has ever seen Blasrator, and nobody I know has any interest in Blasrator. Honestly, it sounds kind of watchable. Frankly, I'd watch the shit out of Blasrator. It's cool cover art. It's good character designs. I think, like, the whole, like, robot Blasrator body transformation looks kind of stupid. That's probably the one thing that would be turning me off. But yeah, I'd give Blasrator a shot. Anyway, what were we doing? Oh, right. We were researching 1980... Holy shit, we're still in 1989. In the movie, not the OVA. In the OVA, he just punches the final boss and he dies. Oh, in the OVA, the final boss hulks out and Ricky throws him into a giant meat grinder and gets so much fake blood everywhere that the actor had red stains on his skin for an entire week. In the OVA, he just punches the final boss and he dies. So he's even stronger in the anime, is what you're saying. A slapstick OVA featuring super deformed members of the Shinsengumi members. Are the Shinsengumi so famous that you could, like, single out individual members of them? This is City Hunter. I to shu kome no magnum. City Hunter 357 Magnum. A beautiful pianist comes to Tokyo for a charity concert, and the City Hunter is there, but the music isn't his forte. He wants lessons in the language of love. Desperation becomes the word of the day as the bodies start dropping. A foreign dignitary is assassinated in cold blood. Secret agents scour the streets for a missing microchip. Diplomatic fighting swirls around the upcoming concert, and City Hunter is the only hope. No, because in the anime, the final boss can't turn into a giant monster. Like he does in the manga movie and manga. What? They didn't even do the giant monster thing? What were that? What? This is Sengoku Kitan Yotoden movie Wrath of the Ninja. The year a comet races across the sky, splitting the heavens from the depths of the earth. The dark god shall rise once again. Then the dark evil lurking in the shadow shall come out of the depths of hell and show itself in the present world. The emotions of the blade of the wind shall collect at the source of the blue light, and the three blades shall become one, vanquishing evil. The year is 1580, and the unholy armies of Lord Nobunaga Oda steadily spread across Japan. Fuck you, movie. Oda was the fucking coolest, okay? Narrowly escaping the slaughter of her clan, a young ninja steals into the shadows. Didn't ninjas not become popular until after? Whatever. She is Ayame, the last of the Kasumi clan, and the dagger she wields is one of three mystical blades. She's joined by Seikon and Ryoma, renegade ninja and possessors of the sacred sword and spear. Now these shadow warriors must unite their weapons and skills to fulfill the prophecy of the enchanted swords, or die trying. I made fun of it. It doesn't sound terrible, honestly. It doesn't sound terrible. How long is it? It's an hour 26, though. It's probably like a generic Ninja Blade-esque kind of movie, honestly. I could give it a shot. Fuck it. Tengen Taima Yako Karura Mao Nara Onryo Amaki. Or Karara Mao movie. Shoko and Maiko Oki are apparently two ordinary schoolgirls in pursuit of graduating and having fun. Shi-chan is more serious while Mai-chan is more fun-loving. In reality, the two sisters are powerful exorcists from the Karura Temple. Each wields half the power. Shi-chan can see the spirits, and Mai-chan can banish them. That sounds so inconsistent. This is the movie adaptation of the Spooky series, which heavily emphasizes on traditionally Japanese occult themes. You missed it because you didn't allow hentai, but you missed Urtsuki Doji and a hentai made by Gainax about a pro golfer whose opponent is a woman and they fuck. I'm sorry about that. I suppose. A hentai made by Gainax. Now that's interesting. This could be watchable. I like that it says it delves into like Japanese occultism. That's actually more where my interest lies than the plot itself. I would actually be interested in like checking that out. There's also an alternate version which came out in the 90s, which I guess we'll read about when we get to the 90s. So, Ultraman USA. It's like normal Ultraman, but better in every way. The lives of three stunt pilots, Scott, Chuck, and Beth, are changed. I'm sorry that the name Scott, Chuck, and Beth make me laugh so much. It's just like, my God, they picked the most. Like, if you were to ask me, like, what are the most American names, they might have nailed it, right? They gain the ability to transform into three new Ultra Beings and form the Ultra Force to battle against the four giant Sorkin monsters. Let's see. Expert Linksman. I guess I can put this up real quick. We're not going to watch it, though. Beat Shot, watch me sink my putts. Alright, let's put it out here. The English name is better than the Japanese name. I get the Beat Shot joke, but watch me sink my putts is 1,000 times better. Expert linksman Akihiko joins the University Golf Club at the same time as maverick golfer Akikazu. The pair often tee off against each other, though Akikazu is distracted by the charms of his opponent's beautiful caddy, Misako. Alright, we have Cynical History Hour, Utakate no Uta. Don't know what you want me to say about that. Moving on. We have Cynical History Hour, Yoru wa Tanoshi. And that's what we have there. Okay, moving on. We have Lupin the Third. Bye bye, Liberty, Kiki Patsu. In this adventure, Lupin, also called Goodbye Lady Liberty, the Third, tries to erase the files about him in the World Police Network. He finds out about the Ultravirus, a computer virus that controls all others and its locations is only known by a little kid. Meanwhile, he steals the Statue of Liberty to look for a diamond the size of a football that is said to be hidden somewhere in it. Apparently, the diamond and the Ultravirus are somehow related. That certainly sounds like a Lupin movie that would be made. It certainly sounds like a Lupin movie. Devil Summoner has an American Devil Summoner named Cooper Smith, who looks like this. Lupin plots are really stupid. There's some serious Lupin, and there's joke Lupin. And you're never fully sure. Here's how to tell if you're going to get serious Lupin or joke Lupin. If it's main series Lupin, if it's modern Lupin, it has a higher chance of being more serious. And if it's older Lupin, it can be more silly. But some older Lupin is also pretty serious, so it's kind of a coin flip which one you're getting. I think the major tell on whether you're getting serious Lupin, as far as like spin-offs are, is you can like look at the art, and if it looks silly, you're probably getting serious Lupin. But then if you go over to like a Goemon Spray of Blood, if you go on to like Goemon Spray of Blood, you'd be like, oh, okay, so we're getting serious Lupin is what's happening. Okay. Ugh. Oh, by the way, Goemon Spray of Blood is a fucking terrible movie. Ugh. But you get to say Fujiko Mine's tits. So I guess take that how you will. Cooper Smith looks like Eric Cartman when he gets like the police hat. All right, moving on to summer of 1989. Konshu Monogatari Minashigo Hutch, 1989. This is a remake of the 1970s version, which I probably read because it came out in the 1970s. Excuse me. We have easy cooking animation, Seishun no Shoku Taku. Something like cooking contests in anime form, approximately 3 minutes long per episode. In each story, there's an evaluation judgment about preparing home food. The preparation is described as humorously as possible. Funny wordplays are often mentioned several times in a consequence and are particularly salient but are repeated in a merry way. Sounds like that could be a fun time. Sounds very short. Not going to watch it, but I would understand the appeal to it, yes. Gunbuster, War in the Pocket, Bubblegum Crisis did a review about that. Angel Cop did a review about that. Bao Rai Hosha. Bao the Visitor. This almost looks like an Iraqi art style. That is Iraqi's art style. That's Iraqi. That's straight up Iraqi. That's like part 7-ish. Like part 7, part 8, maybe a little part 6. Like that's like late game Iraqi. Actually, this look here looks... Did Iraqi make this? Because that kind of looks like Star Platinum. This looks... And that dude looks like Jonathan. Iraqi had to have made this, right? Yeah, okay. Series creator Hirohiko Araki. Yeah, I was like, wait, hold on. Hold on. Araki has such a distinct art style. I was like, wait a minute. Okay, 1 fucking second. He did, and it sucks. I did hear that basically everything he made before JoJo sucked, so that does not surprise me. And anyway, Bao Raihosha, Bao the Visitor. It's probably only like watched because he made it. Like it's probably, I imagine, one of those things where people watch it because he made it and not because of itself. An innocent young man, Ikaro, has a parasite known as Bao implanted in his brain by an evil organization, Doris. The parasite makes him nearly immortal and gives him the ability to transform into a really powerful beastie when he's in trouble. Doris intends to use him in some sort of play for financial success, world domination, or something along those lines. But when they're transporting him on a train, a young psychic girl, Sumere, who's being held by the organization due to her abilities, sets him free and the two escape together. Of course, Dr. Kasu Mimo Kasu Minome is the mad scientist behind the whole Bao thing, and he isn't about to let his test subject get away, and he has considerable resources, including some superpowered lackeys as well as a small army at his disposal. The only reason I am interested in this is because it was made by Araki, and there's only one episode, and it's 46 minutes, which makes it very, very watchable. Rather than something that's necessary. I think it could just be interesting just to sort of see. This is Kyoshoku Soko Guyver. Let's see. Sho and his friend Tetsuru stumble upon a strange orb-like mechanism, the Guyver unit, in the woods. It physically bonds with Sho and turns him into an alien soldier Guyver. His mission to protect the Guyverse unit from the Japanese corporation known as Kronos. They are after it, and the two other units just like it. To retrieve the object, they send out vicious monsters known as Zoonoids, so no one is safe in Sho's life, not even himself. Apparently, I marked this as watchable, even though that plot sounds stupid. I'm assuming it's somehow Maid's fault. Because that does not sound like that does not sound like something I would normally have added. Is it your fault? It's your fault, isn't it? This sounds like it's your fault. Because I was like, man, that sounds so stupid. Shin Captain Tsubasa. Shin Captain Tsubasa takes place at the International Junior Youth Tournament, U16, in Paris, France. After defeating the Argentinian Junior Youth, Italy's Junior Youth, and France's Junior Youth teams, Japan's Junior Youth reaches the final against the powerful West Germany Junior Youth team, and the giant goalkeeper, Muller. The ace, Colts, and the Europe's best player, Schneider, offer Japan's Junior Youth team an extremely hard final match. I have read the words junior and youth more times back to back than I've ever wanted to in my entire life. I don't know. Go on my list and search Guyver and just see what you find. I've seen the Guyver live action movie starring Mark Hamill. Interesting. Earthian. I love the cover art. Is this movie accurate? Probably not. This cover art. Who did the cover art for this? Who did this? Who made this? Yun Koga. I want it because it's almost reminiscent of like Vampire Knight. Oh no, Loveless and fucking Aquaman no Riddle. Okay, that's why I know this art style. Fun fact, Loveless is... What's up, Mac Tier? What's going on? How's it going? Welcome to the worst thing I make. Loveless is Mama Sack's favorite manga for some reason. I don't know. Since the beginning, I watched one episode and then dropped it. Since the beginning of Earth's history, angels from the planet Eden have been carefully monitoring the behavior of its inhabitants, whom they call Earthians. Fair, I guess. Chihaya and Kagetsuya are two agents sent from Eden to assess the positive and negative aspects of the Earthian's nature. Despite the orders Chihaya was given by his home planet, he frequently ends up entangled in Earthian affairs, much to Kagetsuya's annoyance. Meanwhile, as Chihaya tries to understand the origin of his strange black wings, he uncovers one mystery after another. Okay, well, that doesn't even sound remotely watchable. What's going on, Max here? How you doing tonight? Holy shit. Yup. And that is Mark Hamill. Wow, that's young Mark Hamill. Part human, part alien, pure superpower. Like the play from Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII? No, like the manga. Doing okay? Good to hear. Let's see. Go Senzo Sama Bon Bonsai. Long life to the ancestors. The Yomoto family is a small and typical father Ken Kuni, 42, mother Tamiko, 38, and son Inumaru, 17. On a day, a beautiful girl appears at their front door calling herself Moroku Yamota, granddaughter of Inumaru, who travels back in time with a time machine to visit her ancestors. Even with Tomoko's strong objection, Kinakuni and Inumaru welcome her to stay with them, and the structure of a happy family has begun to collapse. This is the same plot of a Cloverworks anime that came out not too long ago. I want to say Cloverworks. Nope, not Cloverworks. I was wrong. I didn't mean Cloverworks. I meant tip of my fucking tongue here. PA Works. That's what happened. So yeah, this is like the plot of a recent PA Works anime, right? Yeah. Iridoku in the World of Colors. Yes. Girl goes back in time to visit her past relatives. Never heard of it? That's okay. It probably wouldn't be very interesting anyway. I'm assuming 1989 is the year Hello Kitty became a thing because there's multiple Hello Kitty OVAs on here. Oh, shit. Okay, Legend of Lemnir. Kyo Kuguro no Subasa Valkiasis. Legend of Limnir. The young and beautiful Lenmir's home village is destroyed by her brother and is taken away. Lenmir swears to kill the evil wizard, Garden, who is responsible for the disaster. With her allies, Lenmir goes on a journey to take revenge. She doesn't know, though, that there is someone above Garden. Look at this cover. Look at this cover right now. I love how I tried to make it bigger, and every time I clicked, it just got smaller. We've got look at this dude's we got get this movie as soon as you get the chance. Video focus. Oh man, it looks so stupid and over the top. Let's see. Satoshi Urishihara. The art style looked familiar, so I wanted to see who they did, what he did. Um, Character design for Bubblegum Crisis. Yep. Yup. Uh huh. Uh huh. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I was correct at exactly who this character designer was. And I was correct at exactly what they made also. And the answer is Front Innocent, Mao Hitotsu no Lady Innocent. And I will say nothing more about that subject. Just that, yup, he made exactly what I thought he made. Oh shit, I forgot to add this to the list. Let's see. You filtered out kids shows. Yeah, well, it's not that I filtered them out. I just didn't have. Oh, I did filter them out. I'm fucking wrong. The year the first Bill and Ted came out. Bill and Ted's a good movie. Bill and Ted was a good movie. Cyber City 80808. What? Why am I looking at this? Oh, this is 1991. Let's see. Mobile Suit SD Gundam's counterattack. It consists of two parts. The Storm Calling School Festival. Char and Harmon host a festival to celebrate the union between the new school for boys and the Zeta school for girls. But all hell breaks loose when Counterattack School Gang, led by Amaru, Judo, and Camille, rush in to crash the party. The tale of SD Warring States, the chapter of the violent final Sky Castle. Amada anime series Super Mario Brothers. I wasn't aware that they made a Super Mario Brothers anime, but I guess technically I shouldn't have been surprised about this. The OVA was dubbed by Central Park Media, who made some real quality dubs, like hilariously bad dubs. Let's see. The Super Mario Amada series is a series of short Japanese fairy tale anime that is found and re-released only in Japan. The series released on August 3rd, 1989. Once again, only in Japan. We need to reiterate, it's only in Japan. Making extremely rare to people not living in Japan. The series is based on one of the three Japanese fairy tales that are told to children. Additionally, only three. There's only three of them. Three Japanese fairy tales told to children: Peach Boy, Kaguya, Sea King's Castle? How'd I do? Additionally, the series contained Mario series that are played in three short Japanese fairy tales. The characters introduced Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, Bowser, and his Kooplings during the fairy tales. Each fairy tale shown in the anime consists of about 15 minutes. The three Japanese fairy tales are Momotaro, Isuno Boshi, and Snow White. Okay, fuck me for assuming they'd all be Japanese. What the shit is Isuno Boshi? Oh, yeah, I've heard about this one. Yeah, okay. I'm vaguely familiar with Sonoboshi. I wouldn't describe these as the only as the three fairy tales. Yeah, I wouldn't exactly describe these as the only three fairy tales in Japan, and one of them is also German. So, all right, kids, we're gonna read fairy tale tonight. Is the wonderful tale of Izanami. I love how even with all the Mario fans, this still gets a 4.77. Okay, let's see. Akai Kiba Blue Sonnet. Excuse me. This art style is also looking familiar to me. Character design by Katsuichi Nakayama. I like how as we're going, we're still working. Did assistant direction on Evangelion 3.0, which I'm gonna say is like the worst directed of the rebuild films, but did a lot of key animation, but this says he did character design, so I'm looking for his character design work. Episode director for Die Buster. This is like the opposite of normal. Like normally you go through like people's work and you're like, man, you're pretty cool this whole time. I'm glad I found you. I'm going through this guy's like direction work and I'm like, fuck, you direct like the worst part of everything, don't you? Gunsmith Cats episode 3, which I am now suspecting is the worst part of Gunsmith Cats, did character design for something called Brave Story, which I haven't heard of, so it can't be what I'm thinking of. Did a lot of key animation. A lot of key animation. A lot of key animation. Holy shit, you did a lot of key animation. But I want you as character designer. Character designer for Blue Sonnet, which is what we're looking up right now, so that doesn't matter. No. It's very reminiscent of honestly this like image right here kind of reminds me vaguely of I want to say Go Nagai, honestly. Even hardcore Mario nostalgics admitted whatever that was bad. Sonnet is a cyborg slash Esper from a harsh background and now trained to be the ultimate warrior and most powerful weapon in the world. She's sent to Japan to watch the Komatsuzaki Lan, who is thought to be controlled by the rage of the Esper Akai Kiba Crimson Fang. Lan is a quiet girl who knows she's different from everybody else, but starts to show signs of the Crimson Fang after coming into contact with Sonnet. In course of fighting with Lan, Sonnet starts to rediscover her humanity. At the same time, Lan has to fight to return her humanity to control the Crimson Fang. That doesn't sound very good. I love the like Blue Sonnet like cover, but it does not sound very good. Aerial visual. To save Earth from alien invaders and their giant monsters, Dr. Kashida does what any other red-blooded mad scientist would do. He builds a giant robot in the year of 1989. No one is allowed to complain about isekai series ever again. This has been going on for 30 years. Fortunately, Dr. Kashida, things aren't too well for the invaders. Unfortunately, his granddaughters refuse to pilot it. Apparently, they've got more important things to do than becoming teenage superheroes. To be fair. Besides, how are you supposed to study for your college entrance exams while getting beaten up in battle? Fortunately for Dr. Kashida, things aren't too well for the invaders either. According to the reports, the Earth was the perfect target. Lush, peaceful, and relatively defenseless. Theoretically, the planet should have surrendered long ago. Now the war is at a standstill. The dreaded accounting department I'm going to watch this movie just because of the dreaded accounting department, is warning about the serious cost of overruns, and the head of the office has arrived from the galactic headquarters to personally oversee operations. Has headquarters decided to unleash the audit, or do they have something more evil in mind? The fate of the world rests upon two people. Aya Kashida, one of the doctor's granddaughters, who may have to give up prep school to pilot the mighty and lovely Ariel, a mysterious alien named Saber Starblast, who may have the power to defeat the invaders once and for all. This is a movie where the Earth is in danger from giant monsters attacking the planet, and a mad scientist builds a giant robot for his fucking granddaughters to pilot, but they don't want to, and they're running into budgetary problems the entire time? How can this only have a 5.36? This sounds like the greatest mech anime ever created. You missed the plot of the greatest mech anime ever created is what you missed. I love it. They're like, oh shit, we're gonna get audited. We can't afford this giant robot. We need to start seeing results. You gotta get your ass in the robot and beat the monsters up. Holy shit. I want to watch that tonight. Are you kidding me? That sounds so great. Midori no Neko is the green cat. I've actually heard of this. The story is a mystery about a green cat and a private detective who investigates where it comes from. The cat was thought to be good luck, but eventually brought misfortune to all who come in contact. The story was taken directly from the fifth subtitle of the 1950s Lion Books manga. High Speed Jackie. High Speed Jackie. Uh, Jackie. Oh, it's Jesse. Oh, I'm a lot less invested in this all of a sudden. High Speed Jesse. Jesse is a young man. Jesse. That was the third plot twist in a row. Apparently, Jesse is male. Is a young man on a quest for revenge. He lost his parents to the hands of the organized crime syndicate called Bismarck House, a group on the hunt to acquire a product called, I can't tell if that's an I or an L, Lazorium at any cost. With an incredible abilities such as increased speed and agility, Jackie travels through space with a girl named Tiana, Fort Green, a priest of the Heartland region who kills criminals solely to send them to heaven, and a living ship called Paulon. However, Jackie's revenge won't come easily. A woman named Jera, her bloodthirsty little brother Cross, and a number of other adversaries stand in the way. Is it better than Negadon? I have never heard of Negadon, but probably. What the hell is Negadon? Is a 25-minute computer-animated Japanese kaiju short film created in 2015. If it's created in 2015, it says Japanese and it's computer animated and it's from 2005. So in that case, the easier way to do that would be to actually, instead of reading from Wikipedia, just go bop, bop, bop. Wakusei Dai Kaiju Negadon. A world of future madly overpopulated searches for a new home on Mars to support humanity. After turning Mars into a habitable landscape, a Japanese ship returning from the planet crash lands on Tokyo Street, unleashing a terrible monster. The only man who could stop Negadon is Dr. Narasaki and his robot, Miroku. Yes, and I'm going to explain why, because that is the plot of absolutely every fucking mech show ever made in the 70s. That is literally the plot of all of them. Okay. To the point where if that came out in 2005, I can only imagine that that was created specifically by old people who just really missed 70s mech shows. Yeah, I'd watch this. Yajikate Gakuin Do Chuki. Shino Kite Raiko and Yajima Junko are second year high school students who travel from school to school fighting bad guys, ninjas, yakuza, and corruption. Corruption is a physical force in this world, is what they didn't tell you. At this high school, they encounter a secret ninja order and corrupted minister, as well as the tragic death in the distant past. With the help of Kotetsu, a skilled ninja, they set the school to rights, but not before leaving several broken hearts behind. Nope, does not sound watchable. At least I introduced you to something. You did do that, and you know what? That's not the easiest thing to do. So, 0.1 Mac tier. Cinderella Express, I've heard of. Everyday salaryman Shinmano Yuji meets and beds a pretty young girl at his bachelor party. I have so many questions about that sentence. Meeting her again at his wedding, he realizes that he just began an affair with his sister-in-law. Oh, shoot! Oh, shoot! Oh, I have definitely heard about this. Oh, no. Okay. This is why commas are important. Not everyday salaryman. It's not everyday salaryman Shinmano Yuji meets and beds a pretty young girl at his bachelor party. It's everyday salaryman Shinmano Yuji meets and beds a pretty girl at his bachelor party. You know what? It is true that introducing me to things isn't necessarily hard. It's finding me, it's getting me to not go, wow, that sounds awful. The Borgman Last Battle. Sonic Soldier Borgman Last Battle. I think Borgman sounds so terrible, but boy, do I love saying Borgman. I love how also this is called Borgman The Last Battle, and then we have over here another episode of Borgman. Of another Borgman coming in the future. It has been 3 years since the end of the series. Rio works for NASA as an engineer on a large rocket project. Anise, fellow Borgman and lover, has been reduced to flipping burgers in a restaurant. So naturally, when she gets a letter offering her a professional job in a big Japanese high-tech project, she jumps at the chance. Rio, however, is indecisive as ever, so she leaves for Japan without him. Chuck Swagger, the third Borgman, is a police officer, as is his girlfriend Miki. When she witnesses a fight among several cyborgs, she tells Chuck, who, oh yeah, I forgot their names were like Chuck, Beth. Wait, who the fuck is Anise then? I thought it was like Chuck, Beth, and Scott. Why are their names suddenly Anise, Chuck, and Rio? What? When she witnesses a fight among several cyborgs, she tells Chuck, who says flatly that it cannot be possible, since the only living cyborgs are Rio, Anise, and himself, but she convinces him and they investigate. Anise arrives for her new job, and when they meet for dinner, they explain the situation to her. Anise volunteers to sneak around the Heaven's Gate project. That sounds like a suicide cult, which they believe to be the source of these new cyborgs. Rio, meanwhile, is en route to Japan to go after his girlfriend. Accompanying him is Hassan, one of the two surviving researchers on the Borgman project, who has asked to appear before the Tokyo police to help investigate. Once the entire cast is in Japan, things begin to get complicated. Borgman, the last. Chuck Swagger? No, it's Chuck Swagger. Yep, Chuck Swagger. Yep, his name is Chuck Swagger. Or, if you want to do last name first, his name is Swagger Chuck. Would have been funnier if his name was Chuck Wood. Chuck Wood would be a pretty funny name too. I'll give you that, but I do like Chuck Swagger as a name. Honestly, of all of the Borgman, that sounds like the most watchable Borgman thing. Like Borgman usually sounds stupid. That sounds watchable. I won't watch it, but it sounds the most watchable of the Borgmans. Shin Mashin Ayuden Wataru Maijinsen. Set a few months after the original series, Wataru is called into action yet again. Finally, I've been waiting for him to get back. What the shit was this? It was some 1988 thing that I didn't bother watching. Okay. Alright, now we have MILF the manga. We have Seishun Fufu Monogatari Koiko no Manichi, based on the romance manga Koiko no Manichi by George Akiyama, serialized in Weekly Manga Goraku. Never heard of this. In the story that fits between the serious drama and comedic farce, Shinjuku gangster Sabu and his young wife Koiko try to live a normal life, despite the interferences of gang politics and criminal deals. After she saves his life, Sabu's gang boss, Tominaga, falls in love with Koiko and sends Sabu into increasingly more dangerous situations, hoping to cause his arrest, and thus obligates himself to take care of Koiko while Sabu is in prison. Huh. Interesting. I might try to watch this. I could watch that. Apparently there are no ratings for this, which means I probably can't find it. Here you go, Sack. Something new. What is this? Madara. Morio Senki Madara. Born of legendary origins, the young Madara has grown up in obscurity as is an apprentice blacksmith. An encounter with the demonic Moki reveals his destiny and catapults him into the middle of a mystic class. Madara fights for revenge with the help of freedom fighters, magical swords, Kirin, the master of the Majin, his goal to defeat his brother and then overthrow his father, the despotic Miroku. Well, hey, guess what? I've already heard of it. It wasn't new. Ha ha! Okay, let's see. Moving into Midoriyama, Koko Koshinhen. Madara is not very good. It didn't look very good. That's why I never watched it. The story of students of a baseball team from Midoriyama High School who will participate in the 66th National Championship Tournament of the Senior High Baseball in Japan. This is Moeru Onisan OVA. What's it about? You tell me. The Burning Wild Man. Oh, I remember. Yes. Okay. Okay. I'll check that out if Burning Wild Man gets my goose cooking. This is Mandalia no Ryota Kukidani Onsen Ensho Sodotan. Your guess is as good as mine about what this is about. This is Ryota's Mandala Shop. Your guess is as good as mine as to what this is about. Gotta get that off the screen very quickly. um, don't tell anyone that that just happened. I'm fucking flat around finding something I didn't tell you about is impossible. No, you didn't even tell me about it. I just know about it. Don't forget, I do just know about things also. My Kyoku to Dai Sakioka Monogatari. Also, the danger of this show is as we go further on in the timeline, it'll become even more impossible to name an anime that I have not heard of because we have so far read every anime up to like July 25th, 1989 now. Have you seen Night on the Galactic Railroad? Actually, maybe. Is that the one where they fight the telephone company? Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Did you accidentally click on porn? No, I should be filtering out porn, but there was an image. Have I heard of not? Have I seen it? No. Have I heard of it? Yes. Because anything before 1989, I have heard of. Have I seen it? No. It didn't sound particularly interesting, apparently. We're forming a great filter where if I haven't already added it, I'm either considering adding it at a later date or I genuinely do not care. Yeah. It's actually a relatively decent watch. I reviewed it in May of 2018, I want to say. March of 2018. Made a blog post about it, I'm sure. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I made this way easier. Yes, I've heard of X. I have indeed heard of X, yes. Here, let's go with 101. I'll be able to recognize it by sight. Oh, that was Nazca. Have you heard of Cartagra? Offhandedly, maybe not. Oh, is this a visual novel? I'm not super into visual novels. What is this? I don't think so. Oh, well, it's a hentai, so no. I don't claim to be a hentai expert. The hero of this story is Takeshiro. I do like her design, though. Is Takeshiro Shugo, an ex-police officer that is now unemployed and freeloading at a brothel. From time to time, he takes on detective work from his former superior. As the story starts off, a missing persons case is dumped onto him. The person he's supposed to find is Kozuki Yura, a girl who had an intimate relationship with before being sent off to war. While this is being played out, a series of brutal killings occur in the background. As they strike closer to home, Shugo is no longer able to turn a blind eye and is dragged into a spiraling web of events. X the movie or show? No, here it is. I want to say like X 1999. Yeah, X 1999. Ironically, having aired in 2000. No, the original X 1999 was in 1996. So it's a visual novel that had a bad hentai made out of it. Don't they all? I'm still trying to find it. Ah, here it is. Kenritsu Chikyo Boigun or Prefectural Earth Defense Force. I was getting Knight on the Galactic Railroad mixed up with Prefectural Earth Defense Force. Anyway, what the shit is this about? The hentai is like, yeah, here's a little bit of mystery and horror you liked from the game. Yeah, but here's all the sex scenes. Remember those? Let's see. Maikyoto Dai Sakuyoka Monogatari. Brief lives of some composers, including Beethoven, Schubert, Mozart, Chopin, Vivaldi, Johann Strauss, Tchaikovsky. Bizarrely, the obscure Stephen Foster, composer of The Beautiful Dreamer and Janie with the Light of Brown Hair, gets a whole episode to himself, probably thanks to being top of the hit parade when Commodore Party Gunboat's Diplomacy opened in Japan in 1953, while Bach and Hendai were forced to share. From the Anime Encyclopedia, which I've never heard of, but it seems to be pretty knowledgeable about dumb topics, I guess. This is Ishi Hisachi no Nanda Kanda Gekijo. The underground people desire to leave their overcrowded cavern and seize control of the surface world, but they never quite succeed. A second episode, Christmas Aid, soon followed, in which brainless undergrounders' second futile escape attempt is set to music by the popular group Yakudan. The first volume also included 2 unreleased stories by Ishii, 101 Ninja, and Kenshan's space exploration adventure. Okay then, this sounds awful. All right, who's ready for some movies? Oh, wait, that's Kiki's Delivery Service. I reviewed it. Go watch my review of it. Okay. We have Dragon Ball Z Movie 1, Ora no Gohan wa Kase. Dragon Ball Z Dead Zone. The first Dragon Ball Z movie. Piccolo is training. Oh god, we're gonna have to go through the 300 Dragon Ball Z movies by the end of this series. Piccolo is training at a barren cliff where a handful of mysterious enemies attack and defeat him. These same enemies then go to Mount Paozu to steal Gohan's son's Dragon Ball. Upon arrival, maybe don't put a fucking Dragon Ball on your kid's head then, Goku. Upon arrival, not only do they defeat Goku's son's spouse and father-in-law Chi-Chi and Guyamao, respectively, but they also kidnap Gohan in the process. Feeling something isn't quite right, Goku rushes home only to find Chi-Chi lying on the ground as she explains the situation. He then goes to Kame House and borrows the Dragon Radar in order to locate the Dragon Balls, and with them, the enemies of Gohan. I have never seen all of the Dragon... apparently, was released theatrically in Japan simply as Dragon Ball Z, and later as Dragon Ball Z Return My Gohan. I have not seen all of the Dragon Ball Z movies, nor would I really want to. Kaidu Kaisatsu Pat Labor, the movie. Yes, I did an episode of Water on that. Go watch that. Little Nemo. The first one with Garlic Jr.? Was it? I don't know. I'll find out for you. Correct. The one with Garlic Jr. Little Nemo, Adventures in Slumberland. Goku is possibly one of the dumbest protagonists I've ever seen. Goku is the only anime protagonist who I genuinely believe is mentally retarded. Like, Sailor Moon is like the second dumbest anime protagonist I've ever seen. Goku, I genuinely think is disabled. Like now, in Goku's defense, when he was an infant, he fell off a cliff and then hit his head. So there was probably some brain damage. No, actually, no. We know there was brain damage. There was canonically brain damage received from that. So I think that's probably Goku's problem. Is the canonical brain damage. So what's Usagi's excuse in that case? Honestly, Little Nemo: Adventures in Slumberland, based on classic Nemo comic strips by Winsor McKay, a pioneer of animation. McKay created the first Little Nemo animated movie in 1911. Hayao Miyazaki and Isao Takahata were attached to this project at first, but left due to creative differences. Ray Bradbury is also thought to have left the project in earlier stages. Little Nemo: Adventures in Slumberland is the first Japanese anime to receive national-wide U.S. theatrical release. Oh, fun. TB Super makes me wonder some things. Yeah, he hit his head, and then he was like a normal baby, except he had a tail. Like, did Chi take advantage of him? There is an implication that spousal rape is involved. Yes. This is fun. I actually don't want to watch this, but this is a fun little factoid. I almost want to watch this just for this little blurb here, but I also don't want to watch this because, God, I don't give a shit. If that makes any sense. I think we have to decide where my standards are right now. Yeah, it's probably crap. I refuse. Okay. Um, Akuma-kun, the movie. Excuse me. The argument I've heard is that he didn't know what mouth to mouth was and not what a kiss was. I guess you can interpret it that way. It's not clear, but there's some implications to that are uncomfortable. Akuma Kun movie. The age of demons has begun. Dr. Faust has foreseen the rise of evil. Unfortunately, he is near death and is unable to. Didn't we already read? This is the same plot. Yeah. Okay. This is just copy and pasted from the previous version. This is copy and pasted. Yeah. This is straight up. One or two words might be different, but I don't think so. I think this is literally the exact same text. I'm not rereading it in that case. Himitsu no Ako-chan, Umida, Obake-da, Natsu Matsuri. Everybody goes to the ocean for a summer festival and the guys sneak off to a cursed island. Fair. Kankara Sanshin, a film about the Battle of Okinawa during the last days of World War II. Oh, God, we're still fucking doing that? I guess it's still 89. During the World War II island hopping campaign, there was a fierce battle on Okinawa that devastated the population, ravaged the land, and left a mark on the populace of the Okinawan people forever. After the war, Okinawa was under control of the United States military. Without any goods and extreme scarcity of the natural resources, the Okinawans were in a desperate day-to-day survival for the basic needs of life. The Okinawans, however, despite their dire situation, use song and dance to lighten their spirit and make the best of the situation. But with the loss of almost everything of value on an island due to constant shell bombing and fighting between the Japanese and Americans, all the regular sanshin and Okinawan musical instrument precursor to the Japanese shamisen had become very scarce and hard to find. The Americans were supplying the Okinawans with powdered milk amongst other items to keep their starvation low. And from those cans of food, they would find a way to bring music back to the people again. It sounds vaguely interesting, but it also sounds like yet another like Japanese apologist World War II propaganda film that like had a huge spike during like the 80s. Like Barefoot Gen kind of shit. Okay. Tezuku Osamu Monogatari Boku wa Son Goku, a semi-autobiographical of Tezuku Osamu. Son Goku is a monkey who is born from a stone and endowed with magical powers. He gets carried away, goes on a rampage until last Budokan finds him within Mount Gogyo. Saved by Sano Zo Hoshi, Son Goku accompanies him on a journey to India, but on their way, monsters lie in wait for them. Journey to the West is actually a really cool story, by the way. Like, we're not talking Dragon Ball. Like, we're talking like actual Journey to the West. Journey to the West is actually pretty cool. Kairu Kaisatsu Patlabor on television. Patlabor, the Mobile Police, the TV series. This was not an anime dartboard dart. In the future, advanced robotics have created heavy robots, labors used for a variety of functions, construction, firefighting, military, and more. However, the robots are only machines. Their operators are also only human, and humans sometimes turn to crime. Since a heavy labor unit can be a dangerous weapon, the police of the future are set to fight fire with fire using advanced patrol labor units, Pat Labors. This is the story of the 2nd Special Vehicles Division, a motley crew of Pat Labor policemen and women doing their best to fight crime and live a normal life. Look, Pat Labor isn't very good. And the only reason people even know about it is because of the fucking pretentious movie. So, pretentious second movie? Yeah, the only reason anyone even knows about it is the fucking pretentious ass second movie, so. I got in an argument with a guy over Watership Down. Guy remember Watership Down as a TV show with more lessons. I remember shit, and I remember Watership Down. I thought Watership Down was a movie. Oh, no, it's a book. Oh, I was thinking of something completely different. I don't know what I was thinking of. Yeah, I've never seen this. I've heard of it, I've just never seen it. Alright, we got City Hunter 3, the third of the City Hunters. Ryo Saiba is a sweeper known as the City Hunter. He has a sidekick, Kaori Makimura, are hired to solve problems that the police can't or won't handle. When he's not keeping the streets of Tokyo clean, Ryo is out chasing ladies, and Kaori chases after him with a giant anti-etchy hammer. Oh, yeah, this is the inventor of Hammer Space. Yes, I forgot about that. Watership Down is a movie. Yawara. High school student Yawara Inokuma lives in a completely happy and ordinary life. She aspires to be an average lifestyle as a delicate young lady with a handsome boyfriend in the near future. Unfortunately for Yawara, she has an undesirable, prestigious talent in judo, a modern martial art. Okay, martial art that is neither feminine nor fashionable. Moreover, Yawara is the only granddaughter of the 7th Dan judo master Jigoro Inokuma, who expects her to become a Japanese judoka superstar of the 90s. Yawara cautiously hides her strength from everyone to maintain a normal reputation, but is often pushed to situations where she must exercise her judo skills. Observing Yawara's immense potential from the shadows, Kosaku Matsuda, a sports reporter from a substandard paper, is willing to do everything he can to bring her into the limelight. Yumura competed against Renma 1/2 on Japanese television and achieved higher ratings. Although Renma 1/2 was more popular internationally, Yawara had remained quite unknown outside of Japan and only got licensed in North American distribution in August 2006, over a decade after its airing period. So this actually beat Renma while it was airing. That's actually kind of impressive. Wow. Honestly, this sounds like a pretty good plot. Woo, Yawara. So you're familiar with Yawara also? It sounds good. 8 out of 10. Yeah, it's actually sounds like a watchable show, honestly. Genuinely, I think I would watch this. I'm not a fan of the 124 episode, but I would watch this. You might be thinking of Animals of Farthing Wood. No, I was thinking of some fucking, because I was talking about like World War II, and then you started talking about Watership Down, and my brain went to like war movies. I was so completely off base of what I was thinking of. Jungle Book Shonen Mowgli. After his parents died, Mowgli is raised by a wolf pack of the Seoni forest, led by Akale. I've never watched or read Jungle Book. By Akale and other wild animals such as Bagahara and Baloo. The young boy goes through several heartwarming, bittersweet, and life-threatening adventures as he seeks after his true purpose in life, and one of many dangers he has to face in this man-eating tiger, Shere Khan. It's based on a manga by Naoki Urasawa. Sounds familiar? Naoki Urasawa did... Oh! Well, that is not a good commendation, let me tell you. Oh, but 21st Century Boys, I hear, is pretty good. Kind of famous for three things, huh? You know what, though, to be fair, a lot of people are a lot, like, as far as mangaka go, being famous for three manga, that is actually a feat, so. Laughing Salesman, Waru Salesman. Each episode follows Fukuzo Moguro, a traveling salesman and his current customer. Moguro deals in things that give customers their heart's desire, and once his deals are made and their unhealthy desires are satisfied, Moguro's customers are often left with terrible repercussions, especially if they break the rules of his deal. This is apparently relatively popular in Japan, but just like never caught on in the West. I'm actually surprised to hear it's 10 episodes. That actually means it's shorter than I would have expected. I'm going to go ahead and give this a pass. I hear it's a decent watch, but, you know. Which is why I want to watch UR, because I was like, the guy who wrote 20th Century Boys? Jungle Taite, 1989. Leo, aka Kimba in the US, is a young, ambitious lion cub who takes his father's place as Emperor of the Jungle. When his father is killed by poachers, even though his father's fate was met by the hands of humans, Leo is one of the few animals in the jungle that doesn't fear or feel hatred towards humans. He is not alone either. He is guided by his friends and his father to help create the best animal kingdom there can be. It doesn't sound very good. Honestly. Oh, also, everyone knows Kimba. Kimba's famous. Whatever. Who cares? I know I kind of just like blowing past this, whatever. I don't give a shit. Like, yes, I know what it is. All right, I'm not. I'm more sandbagging it than anything. Teki wa Kaizoku Neko Tachi no Kyoin. The enemies, the pirates, the cat's banquet. I will say with the slow period Monster is in right now, I kind of wish I was reading Yohara. That's all of Monster, though, is the part of the problem. That and everything. Everything. That and everything about Monster is terrible. Apollo, a cat-like space alien with the ability to lock a human's emotions, and Latel work for the Division of Space Piracy, or DSP for short. The two of them are extremely destructive in their solving of DSP cases. They are attempting to stop Yomai, the space pirate, from exploiting computer-aided thinking for his own nefarious plans. I will say this, 20th Century Boys is definitely better than Monster. I don't know what the popular consensus is, but 20th Century Boys is Monster. The general consensus is that Monster is a complete masterpiece, one of the greatest anime of all time, and Johann Liebert is the greatest anime villain ever created. It's all very wrong, but that is the consensus. Well, not necessarily like a full-on anime consensus, but like that is a very popular opinion about Monster is all three of those things. All three of those things are wrong. Johann Liebert is a terrible villain. He's not even the best villain in his own fucking show. Monster is complete crap, and it is about as far away from a masterpiece as you could probably get. That is what people claim, is that he is the greatest anime villain of all time. He isn't. I agree with you. Griffith is definitely better. I could name multiple villains better than fucking Johann Liebert, and Griffith is one of them. Mahotsukai Sally 2. Coming off of Sally the Witch from like the 70s or 60s. During Sally, no, it had to be 60s. It had to be 60s because Cutie Honey was like what, 71? During or 73, during Sally's coronation ceremony in the magic world, she hears her human friends back on Earth are in trouble. Despite the warnings from her parents, she escapes to Earth to help her friends. Because she was caught using magic in front of humans, she had to erase her friends' memories. Now Sally will remain on Earth so she can regain Sumeri and Yoshiko's friendship while helping other humans in trouble. What a twist! Coming back. When was the last Sally? When was Sally the Witch? Sally the Witch was 66. 66 to 89. For those that don't know, Sally the Witch is famous for being the first magical girl. Holy shit, dude. Johann Liebert is a character who I can't even describe to you because as of right now, they can't even keep a general consensus on Johann. Oh, I could describe Johann Liebert. I could describe Johann Liebert, alright. Let's see. Teton Dobutsuki, Seton Animal Chronicles. Here's what I will say about Johann Liebert is, I want to say Roberto is his name. Roberto is a better villain than Johann Liebert. Yep, Roberto. Roberto is the best villain in Monster. Johann Liebert is such a fucking nothing burger of a character. Is he Stalin, Hitler, McKillbaby? Is he a normal guy with a split personality? The only concrete thing I can say about him is everyone who comes into contact with him goes nuts. Seton Dobutsuki, Seton Animal Chronicles, documentary in which the achievement of Ernest Black Wolf Thompson is settled in different episodes. Every single episode is a documentary in which one sort of animal is described. Huh. Interesting. Momotaro Densetsu. I guess it's just a retelling of Momotaro? Momotaro Densetsu. Yeah, I guess it's just like a retelling of Momotaro. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of is it's like a retelling of Momotaro. Like, I have no idea. Kirage-kun, based on the same name Yonakuma manga by Ueda Masashi, serialized in Weekly Manga Action, from putting his head of the department to embarrassment by the announcing to everyone that he has hemorrhoids through the PA system in a public park to making a whole district disappointed by putting a notice that there will be fireworks display, and apparently the only display is him holding on one small fireworks. Kirage-kun tells the amusing everyday life of, well, Kirage-kun. His typical victim is his head of department, although anyone or anything can become a prey to his irony or sarcasm. The story began and ended with no special beginning or endings, but is arranged chronologically in the sense that it follows seasonal changes. Source ANN. The reason I wrote out that the source was ANN for that is because that was so terribly written, and that's not the level of quality I would expect from a prestigious website like ANN. That is like actually terrible. It better pick up soon because I will run a reread Killing Joke. It won't. As if what you have heard is correct and that the anime just follows the manga, it just keeps dragging on until it suddenly decides to stop. That is Monster. It keeps going and then it gives up. Komatsu Sakyo Anime Gekyujo, the collection of short SF stories. Oh, what's my uptime? 2 hours 28 minutes. That's not bad. All right, who's ready for OVAs? I love how we have an ONA section and literally they don't even exist yet. Shin Captain Tsubasa. Shin Captain Tsubasa takes place at the International Junior Youth Tournament. We've already read this. B-Boy Kidnapping Idol. Might as well just reread Killing Joke because it's like 90 pages. Might as well. Kazuya is a 16-year-old popular idol singer who has loads of female fans. Other than rehearse or sign autographs, he plays video games with his friend Akihiko. Akihiko is more violent than sweet towards Kazuya, but he's protective of him despite the many arguments they may get into. Akihiko later on confesses his love to Kazuya. I was wondering if that's where it was going. I'm still enjoying Monster, but the plot can be a bit frustrating because it doesn't really move. And it never will. Yeez. This is based on a video game series. Mythical Beasts, of which I own, I think, maybe all of them. Mythical beasts lay siege on the people of Asteria, who have raised an army to fight back. The beasts are relentless and seemingly have no end to their numbers. While the population of defenders dwindle in every skirmish, even in the town of Minea, where the people are safely nestled behind castle walls, the constant attacks have left them hopeless. It is then that a prophecy is made proclaiming the arrival of a brave young soul that could be the one who will bring back their salvation. Ys follows Adol Christian, an adventurer driven by the wanderlust towards the island of Asteria, who washes up on shore after a shipwreck. Following the guidance of fortune teller Siratova, he and his allies will travel the island in search of the legendary tomes known as the Book of Ys. It will be a long, perilous journey, but if fate is truly at work, then Adol will certainly be the hero who returns peace to Asteria. So here's the thing. If I cared, and I do, I'll just play the game. But what I will say is that Adol Christian, the main character of Ys, acts as the main inspiration for Hyperdimension Neptunia 2's character, Falcom. Also, possibly Falcom in Nep 1, but I'm specifically talking about Nep 2 because the Nep 2 Falcom is different than the Nep 1 Falcom, and Nep 2 Falcom is my favorite character in Nep. Just period. Bar none. What am I worrying you about? What's going on? Project. Oh, nope, wrong. Wrongzo. Midnight Eye. Goku 2. Goku 2, the Midnight Eye. I love that this man is wearing a tie, but no shirt. No shirt needed. Mm-mm. Goku, the lone wolf private detective, is back, contracted by Yoshiko, a mysterious, beautiful, and very afraid woman, to find and save her brother, Ryu. Will Goku be able to protect Yoshiko from her stepfather's soldiers long enough to find her brother? Meanwhile, Ryu, the unfortunate subject of a military experiment gone bad, leaves trails of bodies behind him, and has no intention of being found or saved by anyone. Will Goku have to kill the man he is responsible to save? Will even his omniscient cybernetic eye and scepter be enough to help him defeat this indestructible killing machine? Project ACO 4 Final. In Iraq, the archaeologists discover the ancient relics that prophesize the coming of a superior race and the end of all civilization. Meanwhile, back in Graviton City, Eiko and Biko's rivalry over K intensifies. Mr. Daitokuji sets up an arranged marriage between Miss Ayumi and K. Furious over the arrangement, both Eiko and Biko do whatever it takes to prevent the wedding from going through. Little they know, another alien fleet is on its way towards Earth. So this seems like the final of the Eiko OVAs, and it aired in 1989, which is worth noting. Have I seen this? What? What? What's happening? There's an OVA series, Eiko versus in the 90s. Is there? Oh, yep. There's an alternate version called Eiko the Versus. Yep. Yep, 1990. Let's see. Saijuki Saigard Cybernetics Guardian. A freak accident unleashes the demonic spirit within researcher John Stalker, transforming him into Soldo, the mythical cyber beast fueled by hate and evil. This looks like complete garbage. Assemble insert. A criminal group known as Demon Seed terrorizes Tokyo with its vast armies of mecha. The police are afraid to confront them, but one person stands in their way. Miran Namikaze, a 13-year-old idol singer with a catchy voice and an unbelievable superhuman strength. That sounds like that could be watchable. Comedy, sci-fi. It could be, yeah, it could be watchable. I would watch that. I'd watch that. 2 episodes, 29 minutes each. That's like an hour. Yeah, that's watchable. Aoki Hono. Ryuichi Kazu, intelligent, ambitious, and dedicated, but at the same time cunning and immoral. Young student receives present from girl Emi Naito, who comes from wealthy family. Realizing that being in relationship with her can help him reach his goals, he decides to make her his, without her even being aware she is just another woman he is using. I love how this is a drama and a romance when it sounds like the least romantic thing ever. You have still not said what you're being worried about, by the way. Shuten Doji. As baby, Jiro was delivered to his foster parents by a massive Oni who's said to return for Jiro 15 years. When the time comes, Jiro must contend with an enemy Oni, dark cultists, and their minions, while attempting to protect both his parents and girlfriend from their depredations. Ultimately, he must embark on a journey through the past, future, and other dimensions to embrace his destiny as Shuten Doji, reborn. I mostly know Shuten Doji from the Yu-Gi-Oh card. This is a Go Nagai thing. Interesting. Is it good? Is it a good Go Nagai thing, or is this a crappy Go Nagai thing? You never know with him. I'll give it a shot. Goal Force Chikyu Shyo. Bum 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 bum. Goal Force Earth Chapter. The year is 2085, and the only winners of the last war were the machines. Years previously, the human race discovered the ruins of an ancient ship beneath the moon's surface and used the knowledge gained to create weapons of war. Eventually, these weapons turned against mankind, seeing them as a threat and deciding the only way to stop these war-loving humans was to destroy them. Heavily influenced by the 1988 Terminator movie, this new series focuses upon Sandy Newman as she leads a band of warriors in an attempt to reclaim Earth from the machines. If they can reach a group of unlaunched nuclear missiles, they can take out the machine headquarters located in Australia. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Alrighty. Karyudo Demon Hunter. I feel like that scythe is incredibly influential. I have seen almost exact duplications of that scythe like 100 times. Yama Rikodo is not your average teenage girl. With her trademark duo horn-like tufted hair, she is really a kind of demon policewoman charged with protecting the duty of protecting Japan from demonic monsters that have gone AWOL. That's what that word is, AWOL. Even with her demonic superiors try and pull her off the job because demon hunting relations are getting too hot for her to handle. She will stay and fight with her giant scythe because while disguised as high school student, she has fallen for student Sho Kuragane. Now she must save Sho and his friends from the evil plotting of the school's eternal youth-seeking, soul-sucking head mistress. Hell yeah, I'm in. That sounds completely watchable. Are you kidding me? Who wouldn't watch that? Yoroden, Samurai Troopers, Kikote, Dansetsu. Strange silent warrior appears when the Inferno is summoned to battle him. The mysterious warrior calls forth his own armor, a black copy of the Inferno armor. Now the warriors will find themselves half a world away, fighting once more to save humanity, but this time from their own armor. This is Ano Ko ni 1000%. Very cute. Very cute cover art. Ano Ko ni 1000% is a high school love story. Azusa Kawihara is the soccer team manager, and her love for her childhood playmate Ikumi is mutual. Although the whole school knew that was happening between Azusa and Izumi, there were rivals who came between them. This sounds like this could be cute. It's also only 10 minutes, which means I could watch this in literally 10 minutes, I guess. Ace, wo, narere, rae, final stage. Hiromi continues developing her tennis and shows the results while undergoing an emotional change into an adult. This is obviously from the very famous Ace no Narere series, which we've talked about before, and I hear is actually pretty good. I'm actually surprised I didn't mark this down as watchable. This is not a direct sequel to the first series due to the overwhelming success of the classic animated series. Aim for the best. This remake. Oh, this is a sequel of the remake, and I was thinking of the original. No? Really? I'm surprised this wasn't marked down, actually. I'd watch that right now, currently, while I'm talking. Cherry, no, Manma. A short story about a young girl and her two housemaid boyfriends. Dog Soldier. When American scientists carrying a cure for the AIDS virus is kidnapped by an arms merchant, John Kyosuke is forced back from retirement. He accepts the challenge to regain possession of the anti-serum. He finds out that some of the people he's after is closely related, which gives his conquest a whole new meaning. It's like a fucking Rambo ripoff. His name is even John. Yeah, of course there's at least one person who's like, yeah, obviously John Kyosuke Hiba is my favorite. Umi no Yami, Suki no Kage, Darkness of the Sea, Shadow of the Moon. Ruka and Romi Kobayakawa are twin sisters in love with the same man. Athletic upperclassman Katsuyuki Toma. Rumi seems supportive of Ruka's fledgling romance with Katsuyuki until the twins are infected with a strange bacterium that transforms Rumi's personality and gifts the twins the terrifying psychic powers. No Rumi will stop at nothing or no one that gets between her and Katsuyuki, including her own twin sister. This is a drama, horror, romance, superpower shoujo series. These are like 3 genres you never would have expected. Chie Shinohara. Why does that sound familiar? What have you done, Chie Shinohara? You have done... I don't think anything I have ever heard of. Nope. Overrated, will never understand his popularity in Japan. I don't know. Yeah, sounds watchable. I have never heard of Visual 80 though. They made crap. I got it. All right, understood. They're a studio that made crap for like 2 years only, and one person's favorite on Mal. They're like, I was really into that crap though. Okay. Dokushin Apartment Dokudami Suo. This is based on a manga. How is this not a hentai? Apparently, this is one of the longest running manga by volume count. 35 volumes? That doesn't sound that long, actually. I guess it kind of is, but I was just thinking, like, they made Guyver. Yeah, I was just thinking, like, Nejima's, like, what, 36 volumes? Something like that? So I was like, 35 volumes. I'm like, oh, that's not that long. But I do forget that Nejima is actually one of the longest running manga of all time, so. Boken Shite mo Ie Koro. Follow a cast that make pornographic movies, the loves and loyalty it creates, and the friction it causes. This would actually be interesting, just because it says comedy is the thing. Like, because it kind of reminds me of that, like, Joe. I was about to say Joe Rogan, and that's wrong. Seth Rogen movie, like Zach and Mindy make a porno. Young man trying to find a job becomes enticed by the only female staff member to work for AV Studios and male actors. Expert in Kennedy sues as the relationship gradually improves. Yeah, so it is a romance series. This could actually, you know what? I'd give this a shot. This could be interesting. It is not a hentai, no. But the other thing with the 35 volumes, I was like, oh, what the shit is this? Hyojin Locke, Lord Leon. Locke the Superman, Lord Leon. It is the year 336 of the space century on the planet of Sirin, and the state of Inix. Flora Rain, who is blind, is employed at an elementary school. Flora is adored by her students, the principal of the school, and all the townspeople, and enjoys a peaceful life in town. By chance, she meets a strange youth named Locke. Locke has numerous superpowers, although he is very discreet about them and gives the impression of being an ordinary youth. One day, Locke is visited by a military man, Major Kalin, who requests Locke's assistance in their investigation of Lord Leon. Lord Leon and his space pirates have attacked the Enterprise of Astoria Concern, but the chairman, Great George... Nope, sorry, there's no E. Great Georg didn't report the incident to the Union. The Union, aware of the attacks, thought this was very strange and decided to investigate Lord Leon with Locke's help. No, thank you. Joe Rogan and funny don't mix. No, I was thinking of Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen. Wasn't Joan Rogan a stand-up comedian, though? I thought Joe Rogan was it. Wikipedia lists him as a podcaster. I thought he was a stand-up comedian at one point. Yeah, it says comedian. Wasn't he a stand-up? Yeah, early stand-up career. Yeah, Joe Rogan was a comedian. I don't know how funny he was. I don't find a lot... Lately, I don't find most comedians funny anymore. I used to watch so many comedy shows, but like now mostly I watch them and I'm like, I am not feeling this anymore. I don't find stand-up funny either. Choju Kishin Don Cougar Hakanetsu no Shusho. Super Bestial Machine God Don Cougar plays an epilogue. After all battles, the Ju Senki have been through. They've gone their own separate ways, but one person will bring them all together again. Shapiro Keats, the man who sided with Muge Zarbatos all the way back in the beginning, is still alive. One friend turned foe awaits the Jun Senki once again in what will be their final battle. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, I'm moving on now. But Shigiri! To all his schoolmates, Jin comes across as a hot-headed class clown from a typical class clown, from typically barging in late and sleeping the whole way through to always responding to any situation with reckless ability. The fact that he used to be the charismatic leader of legendary biker gang has turned into an urban legend. However, after starting a rivalry with the captain of the school baseball team, he and two former members become star players, but not long before his past catches up to him. This, I think, actually was something Kenny Lauderdale made a video about. Tokuma Japan Entertainment. Anyway, I'll pass on it. Any interaction I'd had a guy who listens to Joe Rogan, they're all like a bunch of dumb douchebags. I've seen segments from the podcast, but I don't like listen to it regularly or like, and I will also say when I see segments from the Joe Rogan podcast, it is also usually in the form of a meme or Joe Rogan or one of his guests said something controversial. That's usually the context in which I will listen to Joe Rogan. People are like, can you believe his guest said this? And then it's like, look, I'm not saying we should kill puppies, just that we should eat little bits of them alive. And then Joe Rogan's like, what? That is my experience with Joe Rogan as a podcast. Okay, this is Ogami Matsugoro, based on the same name manga by Ito Minoru, serialized in Kodansha's Weekly Shonen magazine. And the manga is about old school comedic romance between two polar opposites, a girl who despises violence and a boy who knows no other way but is still trying. Ogami Matsugoro is the biggest, roughest, toughest school around, and he's entered high school with a list of enemies a mile long and a group of supporters just as big. His whole life is about violence, although he always prays for his victims after beating them senseless. Then he meets Nagasaki Kome while doing some mandatory volunteer work at a local kindergarten. A pretty girl who despises violence of any sort. He decides to try and help out in the kindergarten, which is being terrorized by local Yakuza thugs by recruiting his gangs to help rebuild furniture the Yakuza have destroyed and so on. Of course, the Yakuza show up and eventually they drive him to the one thing he knows he can do well. Better than anyone. He beats the living hell out of them, which of course Komi disapproves of, even though she recognizes that Ogami has saved the day. That is actually an interesting idea of a plot, and I'm on board with that. I will never find this. I will never get my hands on this. Her design is super cute, though. Depending on what you count as a podcast, I sometimes watch like Critical Role or Adventure Zone or Mabim Bam. Mabim Bam is the only one that's like an actual podcast. Oh, and obviously I have my own podcast, so I guess there's that one also. So you're lucky you filtered hint out because I just read the worst thing ever just now. Oh, now you have my attention. Kangetsu Ito Akurio Kiri. This is based on a novel that I've already read. Let's do Kai Ketsu Zo Wari no Dragon Tachi. Kaikatsu Zorori. Knock yourself out. Hell yeah, I'm gonna read the shit out of this. I won't. Can I put this up on screen? Is that okay? I can put this up on screen. This is fine. Violence. Gekiga. David no Hoshi. Beautiful girl hunter. Tetsuya was the product of his mother being raped by a burglar, and after years of abuse from his mother's husband, he becomes a serial killer / rapist. Okay. It's not that bad, actually. Yeah, honestly, I was expecting way worse. Uh, a second OVA was planned to cover 3 more books, but the first adaptation of Kaikatsu Zoroi franchise is adapted the 3 picture book stories. The second OVA was planned to cover 3 more books, but it was postponed and eventually canceled. This is Minyon Soldierin. This is a 1989 OVA about a boy saving the world from an evil scientist. This is Hyper Psychic Geogaraga. The year is 2755. As a result of system malfunction, the cargo ship Zebek goes off course in a warp gate and ends up within the orbit of the distant planet Garaga. After crashing on Garaga's surface, the crew must find a way to survive from hideous monsters, rabid ape soldiers, and a race of mysterious psychics. Would you have preferred Rape Man? I mean, honestly, I don't even think Rape Man's that bad. Give me something spicy! Isawan Typhoon Monogatari. On September 26, 1959, Super Typhoon number 15, that's a terrible name for anything, also named T5915, Vera, or the Isawan Typhoon, struck the coast of Japan with the maximum wind spread of 305 kilometers per hour, causing over 5,000 dead or missing, plus 30,000 injured. That's awful. That's way worse than Rape Man. The heaviest casualty caused by a single typhoon in Japan in 20th century. This animated movie was produced on the 30th anniversary of the tragedy in order to commemorate the dead and survivors. You ever seen the Rape Man parody dub? I have never seen Rape Man, but I have seen bits from Rape Man that I thought were actually canonical and now realize probably were from a parody dub. So I'm going to say I've seen bits of it. Assuming the parody dub is where the line, "Don't thank me, thank rape," comes from. Warrior Salesman Episode 0, the prologue to Warrior Salesman that aired a week before the official Episode 1 was released. Tenku Senki Shiroto Recaps. This is recaps of the original show known as Episode 32.5 and Episode 39, which we already discussed earlier. This is Time Patrol Bon Fujiko F Fujio Anime Special SF Adventure. This is a Japanese schoolboy. Hey, Bon is enlisted in an effort of Time Patrol to keep the past out of trouble. And finally, the final anime of 1989 and the final anime of the stream, Chinpui Specials. The description is the Chinpui Special. Have I described what Chinpui is before? I have, and it's delicious. I love it. I love that all the build up, the final anime of this stream is just Chinpui Specials. Oh, that was fun. That was fun. This is why we make this show. What an ending indeed. Perfect. It's the perfect ending. What an ending indeed. Thank you for coming, everyone. I had a blast. This is the worst show I make, and it's kind of also the best thing I do. Because we get to ride out this crazy bullshit. Supposedly the podcast is supposed to be tomorrow. It's not supposed to be the award ceremony, to my understanding. It is just the normal podcast. Look forward to that, I guess, if it happens. Don't hold your breath. Otherwise, I can't promise anything. What I can say is I have a working, reworked queue for streamed games with new additions added to it and a completely new order. Don't worry, viewer requests will not be changed in whatever order, wherever order your viewer request is currently on in the queue will remain in that exact location, even if every other game around it is completely moved. But I need to test out whether I can still stream from console and whether it was just a PlayStation failure or whether it was also a capture card failure. So I guess look forward to that once I manage to test that. Anyway, game coming up eventually, Walking Dead Season 3. Probably be done with that in 1 or 2 streams. But yeah, that was 1989. We'll be heading into the 90s. We're getting into my home turf now. So yeah, hope everyone had a good time. I had a blast. I've been Sacrobolic, your Envoy of Hope, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.